Welcome back to Adventures in Aanthara, session 36. Try to think of a second of any 36 milestones. I don't think there are any. It's just a random number. Yeah. Quick recap of the very significant series of events that have happened in the last day, really. After arriving in Olea, the Twilight Heralds met up with friends and family of Eclipse for Noir, specifically, or especially, her sister Luna and her childhood friend Remy. And they proceeded to engage in all sorts of shenanigans, including playing Capture the Flag and magic testing all the casters in the party, while Eclipse read comic books, because she's the only not caster. And then they debriefed with Hugo, Eclipse's father, on the mission that Eclipse had been undergoing and the events that the party had been a part of over the last few weeks before heading to bed and then being woken by what turned out to be an attack on the Consortium, which the party fought through quite well before eventually reaching Hugo's office, or more specifically, one person reached Hugo's office, that being Faye, who was flying, invisible. Unfortunately, there were creatures inside prepared for an arrival who struck Faye down and then disappeared with Hugo as a unconscious prisoner into a portal. Faye then died, to put it bluntly, and the party got into some seriously hot water before, fortunately, all dispersing, making their way out of trouble, Brightwing making her way to Faye and starting a resurrection ritual, which succeeded after the contributions of a number of party members. Faye was brought back. Hugo was not, and they began an investigation into what had happened, which eventually led Eadwyn to direct the party to a northern part of the city where the Scarlet Sword's sheath is located, and where he began a line of inquiry among the swords and a couple of leaders in his order that may have opened some interesting questions and has opened a line of support from the swords for this party. And Eclipse, and also Yasnip, and Remy, and Luna all made their way back to the Fornois estate for the night, while Brightwing, Eadwyn, and Faye slept at the Sheath. And in the night, Eclipse dealt with something between dream and nightmare that unlocked something inside her she has not allowed out before, or at least not in a long time. And that is where we left off, with everybody leveling up to 6, which you should have done, and Eclipse in particular taking a level of Barbarian, and waking up suddenly with Yasnip, you, Remy, you, and also Luna. Actually, Luna's upstairs. So Remy and Yasnip, the two of you, in the room, dawn sunlight beginning to stream through the window, and Eclipse riled up, to put it mildly. And that is where we pick up. What would you all like to do?
I'm frantically looking, making sure everyone's not in the state they were in my fucking nightmarescape.
You look around the living room, which is where you had been moments before in your dream, and you see Remy and Yasnip. Remy actually had fallen asleep on the chair where you were sitting.
I think I've fallen off the chair.
Yes, I think you probably did.
Is it into the seat or off the chair? Because I'm going to feel bad.
Off the chair. Remy is on the ground.
Oh, jeez.
And Yasnip is also there. Neither of them bound as they had been in your dream. No one else there, though.
She's like, just trying to breathe through it. And just... Oh, what the... Oh, thank God. Okay.
What's wrong? Is someone here? Is something happen?
Just a really bad dream. Okay, you guys are good? What time is it?
That would be
7:03.
Okay.
7:03.
Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna reach down and put Remy back in the chair. Just...
Is she like fluffed up? Or 'cause I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must have been
Fur
one
is
hell of a
very-
dream.
That was a... I hope it never happens. It was worst case scenario. It was not good.
Worst case scenario for whom?
Everybody.
Yeah, I have dreams of the end of the world quite often as well.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, it's I'll talk about it later. I need to go check something, and I'm gonna go upstairs.
Okay.
Kind of like try to shake off the jitters. Fumble my way up. I'm not very quiet about it.
Does she wake up like that often, Remy?
You would know better.
I've only known her 2 months.
Not usually.
Just for the heck of it, Eclipse, roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier
Oh, jeez, man.
as a composure check.
Oh, wow, it's actually not terrible. It's a 14.
Okay. You pull yourself together a bit as you shake it off, head upstairs. Not quite the hackles raised situation that you were in. And you see, as you reach the hallway, Luna sleeping on a pillow and blanket. Not, like, blanket not on top, just kind of sprawled out.
She is taking up the floor.
Yes. Right in
Okay.
front of your parents' bedroom door.
Okay. I'm gonna go over and just kind of shake her a little bit. In like a...
Okay.
As playful of a way as I can imagine right now, just...
You see her hand as she wakes up dart under the pillow and look up as she wakes up, and then
Same.
It's morning. I hope it's early still.
It's 7 something. Yeah.
Okay. She looks over at the door, sees it's still closed.
Do you want to just wait
Yes.
till she actually wakes up? Could try to make breakfast.
Yeah.
That way she doesn't have to.
Last few minutes of peace. Can't imagine she's going to be sleeping well for the next who knows how long. So. Yeah.
All right, let's just sort of wake up on our own.
Okay.
I
heads
will go
downstairs
back
with you.
downstairs.
You guys are going to make breakfast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have you know I make excellent sliced apples.
We're gonna need them.
Facts.
And I'm gonna set some aside for him to start doing that.
Okay.
And Luna, I don't mean to pry, but I've lost quite a few things. You don't happen to have that sling and water skin still, do you?
Oh. I guess But she darts back upstairs really quick and comes back down with it. I'm surprised I was cognizant enough to take it off. Hands it back to you. Thank you. Don't know, don't imagine I'd be in great shape without it, so
Remy had you covered.
appreciate you.
Thank
Thank you,
for
too.
her.
Good thing, I guess, all of you were here, because I would have been Hell, I wouldn't even have been dead in the hallway. I'd have been dead on the freaking stairs.
What happened there, by the way?
Oh,
Do you remember?
Yeah. I was on patrol, making my way past the front. Talked with a couple guards. Actually sent a message to Remy right around then, because we were bored as hell. Figured she was still up. And then there was a flash, purple or pink, something arcane, and a rush of energy, I guess. And those garden statues came at us, and I think we put up a fight for a bit, but at some point I got clocked, and that's the last I remember. I don't remember if we saw anyone else come in. It was a blur. I'm not sure.
You sent a message?
Yeah, I have a sending stone.
Okay. I was like, when the hell did you learn how to do that?
No. Every once in a while, on watches, I'll be bored. She'll be up late. And...
I'll have the drink.
Well, I will mention, for someone that claims about being able to see things and not be seen, you kind of failed both of those second time around.
Yeah, well, I don't know what the hell that was or who caused it. Sounds like you guys know a lot more. But yeah, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I can't really blame her. We've got two, high level, high priority, high wanted list assassins. I would have been surprised if you'd seen them anyway. Yeah.
Are those guards still alive? Maybe they saw something I didn't.
Ones that were with you at the steps.
We might want to check in if they are.
Did I see anything flying down from the tower?
No. By the time you arrived in that area, Luna and the guards were knocked out, and the statues were actually back in place as they had been. So you didn't see anything beyond. In fact, when you arrived, there was a fight happening already with the party.
Well, yeah, we're supposed to check with them later today anyway. They wanted us to report and catch up and whatever.
Yeah, that sounds like something we'll be doing early, I suppose.
Where's everybody
Around that
else?
time, you hear footsteps on the stairwell, and you see your mother come down in a robe, sees everyone.
Morning.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Where's the rest of the group?
They stayed at the sheath. One of our party has connections there, and some of them decided to stay there.
All right.
I'm going to assume while we've been talking, I've been making tea, passively trying to make breakfast, but I can't focus, so probably nothing is done.
Okay.
There's
I would say
5 chopped apples, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Plate of apples.
You see your mother scan the situation and get there is a distracted attempt at making breakfast sort of evaluation.
What Damn mom intuition, I fucking hate it. Alright, so I'm gonna grab a cup of tea that I have seen her drink consistently in the mornings and know just by the smell of it which one it is.
Okay.
Have that already for her.
Yeah.
Kind of
Takes
do
it.
my, hey, we need to talk. I'm gonna like lead her over to her chair in the living room and just kind of have her sit down with the tea. Hand it to her.
Okay. Takes it.
Kinda
Sits
sit-
down
Yeah. sit
after
across from
some
her.
coaxing.
Yeah. So the Consortium had an incident last night. It's a bit of an understatement. I'm not going
Is
to
your father
sugarcoat it.
okay?
Dad's missing.
She puts the tea on a side table.
Yeah.
What do you mean missing?
He was taken. Alive, but he was taken. We know who did it. We just haven't found them yet, but we know who did it. And we're gonna go get them. And we're gonna go get him back.
Someone dangerous? Is this a threat to him? Is he alright?
I don't know, but they took him alive, so I'm assuming they need him. So I don't think his life is in danger right now.
At took him alive, the weight of it seems to set in and she just buries her face in her hands.
Yeah.
And you see her breathing heavily. 10, 20 seconds go by. And still face in hands, you hear her say, and you can hear the choke up in her voice. He was so worried. Another 10 or 15 seconds go by. She looks up. You can see tears in her eyes, wet in the fur on her cheeks. You know who did this?
Yeah.
And do you know why?
I think it might have had something to do with what I was out doing. And what he was worried about. So, thankfully, everybody else is okay. I kind of gestured to Luna. It was really early in the morning. So,
it was touch and go for a while there, but we're all okay. I think Dad's okay too. He's just not here.
yeah.
What do I do? Is there
So,
anything I can do?
So a couple things I need you to do. Try not to leave the house as much as you can. Like, you can go watch the Consortium, but I don't know what their deal was yet. So, I
There's
guess
still
if they...
danger.
I don't know. That's kind of what we're trying to sort out. Again, it looks like he was the only thing they were after. So, I think you're okay, but I'm gonna...
understand why. He's...
I
And
believe
you
they were
sort of
looking
see
for
her...
information.
What?
As you say that, she sort of sits back and hands just kind of open in her lap, staring at them. Okay, stay here. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna reach over and just like grab her hands and just kind of like hold them really tight.
She doesn't look up at you. She's still staring at
And
them.
I'm just like, we're gonna get him back.
See another tear from each eye as
We've
you say that.
also received sponsorship from the Scarlet Sword. They are going to help us attempt to get him back.
Nods slowly, still staring at her hands. Finally looks up at you, Eclipse, after like another 15 seconds.
Yeah. I know. And I'm sorry. We really tried. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. They knew what they were doing.
Are you going to be safe looking for him, or?
She has
Kinda-
to look out for her.
Yeah. I'm not gonna be alone. Not like last time.
Nods a bit. Takes a deep breath. Seems to get closer to steeling herself and finding a not calm, but resolve. Okay.
And hey. You worry about it as much as you want. Alright? You can cry. You can get mad. It's whatever you need to do. You don't have to brave face for us. But just know, I'm gonna do everything I can. No matter what.
She takes another few seconds, looking down at her hands again, another deep breath, and then just hugs you.
Yeah.
Big mother hug. Holds
then
on
goes down.
for a long time.
Yeah. I don't move until she,
Yeah.
even when she slackens, I'm just gonna like keep holding on to her.
Eventually pulls back. Well, I'm not gonna sit here. Breakfast, I guess.
We tried.
You see the tiniest, barely hint of a smile before it quickly fades. She gets up and goes towards the kitchen, starts busying herself in a way you sense to be attempting to distract, but still lost in the thoughts.
I will be nearby and helping, and if she takes a moment to like completely just lose it, I'll just pick up whatever she's doing and then
Okay. All right. We will leave this group here for now. How early are the Sheath group? How early are you guys waking up?
Well, it depends when Faye wakes up. When Brightwing wakes up.
Faye, how early do you wake up?
Not 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna roll for it.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So 10. Unless someone wakes me up before then, I'd probably sleep until like 10.
Okay. Brightwing, you definitely wake up and still see her asleep.
Well, Brightwing, you would see Brightwing has been asleep on the edge of Faye's bed. Like, she's been, like, sleeping, like, she's in a chair sleeping right there because she was sitting all night making
Okay.
sure you were okay. So, I guess it's whenever Aedwin came up, because she probably stayed up a little bit later than she should, making
Mhm.
sure Faye was okay.
face
Okay.
down in the bed, just
Yeah, totally like this.
Small
Asleep.
Okay.
drool puddle right where her face
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Yep.
little drool.
Yep. Adwin?
It's probably waking up around 9ish, so probably about an hour before.
Okay. Do you head out of the barrack that they're sleeping in?
So they're
Or
both
wait.
still asleep.
At 9-ish, yes.
Okay. I'll note that, and I will go ahead and go. Where will I go? That's actually a great question. I think I'm gonna go talk to Avarez. Just
Okay.
kind of see what she's got for me.
Okay. When you head out, you see her at kind of the front deskish area, kind of legs kicked up, arms crossed. How are they holding up?
Still asleep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys got into a pretty hefty mess last night. There's word going around the city already.
It's probably a good thing, to be honest. City ought to know.
Merritt's working on collecting some extras for the group. This is already ready. She puts a bag of what seems to be coin on the counter. You're going after whoever these two are.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'll have to.
Been on anything like this yet? Hasn't been that long you've been out. Training.
Never done a rescue before. Not a successful one, at least. So, hopefully this group, our faith.
You know much about these two? The ones you're chasing, supposedly?
We got too much power. Too much influence. Wish we knew where they were, but fortunately tracking them's a bit complicated.
Well, good luck, I suppose.
Yeah. If it's not too much to ask, I'd like to make sure the swords are keeping a close eye on the Fort Noir estate, as well as the Consortium, at least until this all resolves. And if a investigation of security can be done to maybe patch things up, try and figure out where the breach was.
Well, from what I hear so far, the Ivory Guards got an investigation started.
Shit.
So, not
Yeah.
surprising.
That means we're not going to be able to do anything in there.
As far as the family and the Consortium, I'll talk to Merritt. I'm sure we'll talk to them. Can't imagine anything's going to be pro bono, but I'm sure they have resources, so maybe we can throw them a friends and family discount.
Yeah.
Friends might be cutting it close for us, but
Well, Eclipse is alright. She's done a lot of work. A lot of good work.
all right. We'll talk.
Alright.
I'll talk to Merritt and he'll talk, probably.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the gold.
I think he'll be back in an hour or so.
All
If you
right.
hang around till then.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay. You wait. About an hour later, Faye, you finally wake up.
Just put my hand on the Brightwing's head. Just like a little like.
Good morning.
Morning.
How do you feel?
Good. I think I.
You stretch your arm. Any tightness?
Oh. I'll like kind of feel at the scar a little bit.
Probably, I don't know if it's for the first time or not, but maybe the first time with this clear of a mind, you feel it, and it is significant, tender, and a little tight.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not gonna.
I can make something that could help, if you'd like. To numb it a bit while it's healing.
Yeah, that would be great.
But would you like some tea this morning too?
Would it make you feel better to make me tea?
A little bit, to be honest, yes.
Okay, then I would love some tea.
Okay. I'll make tea.
Okay.
I'll make it with some of the herbs that Faye and I'm pretty sure, like, in the midst of our roundabouts of, like, off time traveling, Brightwing has gathered herbs from new places, and I'm pretty sure this is a little thing that she's gathered with Faye while she was curious. Make sure that. And then, can I try to use my herbalist kit to make a numbing gel ointment?
You can. Roll a wisdom check, and you can add your proficiency bonus.
Ooh, okay. I don't have my D&D. I'm
D&D Beyond. Dice sock acquired.
Dice sock acquired. That's fish for
Is
Dump
that a
'em all
literal
out.
sock? Is it?
It's a
wait,
Yes!
It's a.
sock. Where have you been, Brian?
I don't know.
Also,
I don't know
can we
why I haven't
reflect on the
noticed it
fact
before.
to, like, if you chose like a black or a dark blue one or something, you wouldn't be able to tell, but with the whitish one, it just looks
Yeah.
dirty
A
and
white
old.
athletic sock.
Yep. Just amazing. Yep.
There it is.
Dice sock.
Multicolored white and gray.
Incredible.
Classic.
Plus 5.
I don't know how I've never noticed that before.
Mhm.
Wow, dude, the dice
Ugh.
sock has been around for ages.
It's true. That's a
This will be my
16.
tray.
16. Okay. You make some good tea and you make a salve of some kind that kind of like maybe a little bit aloe vera adjacent,
Mhm.
and give it to Faye to rub on, and it does help sort of relax and numb a little bit. It's a little Bengay-ish sort of.
You can put this on every other hour.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you know what we're supposed to do now?
This is the biggest now what of my entire life.
Okay.
Up until this point and the previous one included.
I don't know if this is new life. I think this is just continuation. Second, I'll have to ask the wilds what this is classified as.
I think I'll call it Act 2.
That is play, right?
Yes.
Megan, fuck you.
So fucking good.
That was really good. I've never seen a play.
Well, if and when we ever make it back to Ilmara, we'll make a point to go together. I've got some friends there that I'm sure could get us in backstage.
Your nephew kept saying we could go see one.
I think his intentions were not as perhaps as play-oriented as mine.
Yes,
Brightwing, I will leave it up to you whether you have any clue what that means, but
Same first four letters, though.
Yeah, there's no way.
right over the head.
yep.
Should we go try to find Edwin or go back to Eclipse's house?
I'm sure he's around here somewhere. I'm starving. They have food here probably. We could bake something.
Okay. Not as good
Yes.
as Yasnip's sliced apples, though.
How do you
Canon. He's made him so many
I
times.
traveled with him for 3 months!
Yep.
I probably
Okay,
did
you
all the cooking, and he's just all the slicing.
All the slicing of apples.
He does all
You
the prep work. He does all the prep.
Yeah.
yeah. The sous chef.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Listen, you can't
Um,
make a good meal without good prep. I'm just
It's
saying.
true!
Yeah.
It's definitely a two-person job.
Michelin star onions. They're just
Uh,
perfect.
Uh-huh. You two head out from the barracks?
Just out to the main area, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You head out, see Edwin probably sharpening his sword or something. And Donnie, who you had talked to the night before.
Morning.
Good.
Good to see you all up.
To be out.
Lieutenant should be back any minute. You hungry? We're no 5-star tavern, but bread and some meat.
Bread and meat sounds great.
She takes a couple minutes, pulls together some rations from a back room.
I would imagine you guys have never seen Faye eat as ravenously as she is eating.
Is it just meat and bread? Is there anything else?
Nope, there is nothing else.
Alright, I'll just have some bread.
Okay.
Love bread.
Let's go.
Yeah. There's probably some butter for the bread, so it's not just straight plain bread, but and a little ways into it, the door to the sheath opens. You see Lieutenant come in, has like a large pack slung over his shoulder. It's good to see you're all up.
Good to see you as well, Lieutenant.
Pulled together some stuff. Suppose it's not too much, but I think it should be useful. And Kurz in the armory probably has a couple more things too. He unslings the sack, pulls a few things out. It's not much, but he pulls out a small pearl, a small black agate stone that's carved with a couple of swirling arcs in it, kind of like a sideways S, and a ring about maybe 3 inches in diameter of a carved metal of some kind. Looks like a rough metal that's sort of maybe like 1/8 of an inch wide that forms this ring empty in the middle. That pearl we got off a mage that it was a mark. Ended up getting tried and convicted, so we kept this. Probably useful to one of your casters. And then the stone and that emblem, the ring, belonged to a bearer a while back named Kalen, who retired. He was a little more religious than the average sword. Was worshipped Helm. I think one of those has some, I don't know, divine or magical connection. But he left him here when he retired, so. And then Kurz has got a couple things that I think would help you guys out. And Donnie already gave you the money.
Yeah, we already got that. How many people we got working the forged?
With Kurz.
Yeah.
It's just him right now.
Shit.
Hasn't been much need here lately.
I've got a couple things I want to see if I can put together.
Well, he works well and he works hard, so
I'll help him out.
might be able to get some of it done.
Yeah.
That money is, call it starter fund, but if things come up, we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Just keep us posted.
All right.
So there was 2 things that he gave us?
He gave
Uh,
3 things, I believe.
3 things.
He just gave a description of the first 2.
We got the pearl, we got the stone, and we got the emblem. The stone and the emblem are some kind of religious Thai magical items, and then the pearl is probably pearl of power. So, yeah.
Thank you.
There's pretty big investigation already underway by the guard. Not surprising, but they're all over the Consortium and asking around. I imagine they're going to want to talk to you all at some point soon.
I think we were actually approached yesterday. We managed to stave them off until later today, so yeah, we'll be having a chat with them pretty soon.
Let us know if they figure out anything that we should know.
Yeah. Right.
Good luck.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
While Eowyn and the Lieutenant are talking, Faye, you standing off kind of more to the side as you finish eating probably, you feel, or see and feel, and Donnie slide up next to you. And kind of quietly, you that, bard that we had postings about?
My reputation precedes me. What's it to you?
Figured as much. Fit the description. Kind of surprised to see you with Eowyn, given what we had heard.
I think I may be more surprised than you.
That seems pretty fair. I don't know why, but I feel like we have kind of a similar, I don't know, the cut of your jib, I guess. Maybe it's just about keeping him in check. He can be a little dense. Need someone to challenge him. And, I mean, I think he thinks he's the brains of the operation, but probably be useful to have somebody a little smarter to keep him on track. Seems like that might be you. Am I reading that right?
Well, I do enjoy a challenge.
We go back a little ways, and sounds like you guys are getting into a lot, so be good if he has somebody with some brains keeping an eye on him.
Well, we've all made poor decisions, but maybe together the two of us can hold each other accountable.
Something about 2 chords stronger than 1 thread. I don't know how it goes, but yeah. Maybe this will help. She flicks a large like a $50 sized medallion towards you. A large coin or a small medallion.
I will catch it without breaking eye contact.
Okay. Good luck out there.
Good luck here. Sounds like you're gonna be busy here shortly.
Fair. She slides away.
Does she think that Edwin has no brains? Because if he had no brains, he would not be alive.
I don't know. I think it was a jest. Like a friendly, you know how, like, you can make fun of your friends, but other people can't make fun of your friends? Does that make sense? Is that it? Like, you can make jokes.
The joke.
You can joke at your friend's expense, but others can't joke at your friend's expense. Okay.
I don't use money.
Oh boy.
How is Yasnip when you need him?
Trying to explain social contracts. This person is just.
Do you have siblings?
No.
I don't have siblings.
No, I'm done. All right, we'll make a note of this one. Jokes.
That table list is sure getting long.
How to make fun of friends. How to fight people who make fun of your friends.
What is the coin?
It seems to be a pretty simple, like, bronze medallion, and it has a relatively simple, like, embossing of what seems to be a featureless face viewed from kind of like a top-ish down angle where you can, like, see mostly the forehead and a bit of the chin. No eyes, like, very slight nose. It's pretty basic looking. You don't recognize it specifically.
Could use the monocle.
Yeah, is that a once a day thing? I can't remember. No. We could try it out a couple times, or we could just try each one individually and see what they do. That might be fun.
That would be exciting.
Mm-hmm. What's the worst that could happen?
Probably pretty bad.
Do you think they'd really give us anything that dangerous?
That is true.
Does this thing feel like something that I can access, or does it feel like something I'd have to sit with for a while before I would be able to access it?
Roll an Arcana check.
16.
Not positive, because you haven't seen this particular item before. You're not even positive that it has any magical significance. Maybe it's just her lucky keep Aedwin in line coin. But if magical, your best guess is probably that it's something you don't need to attune to. You just need to figure out what it does and how you would use it.
Let's catch up with him. Actually, I could go get him if you wanted to head off to catch up with the others. We're late. We told them we'd meet them at dawn. I just remembered that. So I could rally him, and you could meet the others at Eclipse's
Okay.
house if you're comfortable.
Do you want to put this in the knife?
I've got the bag.
Okay. Try to remember where to go to Eclipse's house.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you want to roll? I'll ask you.
I think it'd be funny if I rolled.
You got all the way
Okay.
up to Remy's observatory and back at night.
That's true.
Yeah.
I have a good sense of direction.
You do have a good sense of direction. Okay. I'll say you're all right. You make your way back. It's also not very hard because the gigantic cloud spire draws your attention, and once you get there, you find the academy, which is right next to the Consortium, which is right next to the Foreign War House, and you can figure it out pretty easily from there. So you make your way back. Aedwin, you go to find Faye? Or Faye, you go to find Aedwin?
Yeah.
Okay. He's finishing up his conversation with Merritt, seemingly packing up to get ready to go.
Hi.
Look. I should have... I was trying to get a chance to talk about what happened yesterday. I just couldn't do it. Everything happened so fucking quick. But... I joined this organization to make sure I didn't have to hold any more dying people in my arms. Had enough of my fair share of that. And it feels as though I have now multiple times failed. And I'm sorry for that.
You're not responsible for my decisions.
Be that as it may, my job is to keep people alive. And I haven't been really good at my job lately. I'm not saying that anything could have been done differently. We all made the choices that we did, but I won't let it happen again.
Our line of work is dangerous. Inherently. It's a noble goal. But understand that only so many precautions can be taken. The fucking coward snuck right up on me. Who would have known? Don't worry. I'll get my chance at vengeance. He didn't hesitate, and neither will I.
And neither will I. let's get back with the others.
Okay. Do you head to the Foreign War House? Do you stop in the armory first? What do you want to do? There's no timeline that you were given for the armory, so it's up to you.
I think we're stopping by the house first.
Okay.
Because we're late.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Is the armory attached?
Yeah.
Okay.
You also make your way a little ways behind Brightwing. Eventually, Foreign War House crew, you hear a knock on the door. A very faint knock on the door.
I'll be showing Yas. I'll take an apple. If you cut it this way, you can optimize the amount of apple that you can get by calculating the surface area and...
Remy, it's not always about math, okay? Sometimes if it looks nice, it's pretty enough, even if some is wasted. Plus, that's how you get a snack out of it, too.
But it's easier to eat, and you get more of it.
Watch. That easy.
It's very simple math.
All right, let's try it your way. I'm not going to like it.
Start cutting in a very intricate, like, geometric design.
Yep.
I'm just
Fibonacci sequence to apple.
Yeah.
slowly turning the dagger, waiting for her to be like right there, and then cutting in.
Okay.
I'm
Luna
guessing
probably...
Luna
okay.
can get it for sure.
Yeah, Luna probably ends up shaking her head at what is going on over here and then heading over to the door. Opens it, Brightwing is there. Uh-huh. There's apples. There's more than that. Mom's making for the rest of breakfast, but...
We had bread. I had bread.
Right. Steps away, closes the door as you enter. Doesn't really know what to say to that. And then maybe...
my sibling meeting my friends.
Yep.
I can't take this.
Another 10 minutes later, Edwin and Faye show up.
When I enter the room, how is her mom doing?
Roll an insight check. Since you're asking.
Put the dice away. Oh, that's pretty good. That'd be a 26.
26. You see her working in the kitchen. Really, actually, more working around the dining room table at this point because it's been a while. And it is a very reorganizing things that don't need to be reorganized and moving things to and from the kitchen that aren't really needed, and just like you get a clear sense of she's attempting to stay busy, to stay distracted, but underneath that facade she is torn up for sure.
I think Brightwing will go make another thing of tea. I don't know if she has specialty. I'm just going to make a tea that I think she would like.
Okay.
And then just timidly go up to her.
Okay. Edwin and Faye, I'd say you'd get there around this time, the time it takes to make the tea, so everybody's there.
I brewed a fresh pot if you would like some.
She stops moving a jar of jam that she had brought to and from the kitchen like 3 times. Oh, yeah. Yes, please.
Would you like to sit?
Oh, kind of looks around trying to gauge whether everything is as it should be and not really seeming able to grasp whether it is or not. Seems lost for a few seconds. And then, sure, yeah, yes. Sets down the jar, sits down in a chair, takes the cup. Just kind of holds it in her lap and stares at it quietly.
I'll get her a little plate. Obviously not a lot, because I don't even know if she's going to eat, but just something. Just set it down in front of her.
I think Brightwing's just gonna sit next to her with her own cup. And just be there as similar what she did with Eclipse when Eclipse was distraught when Brightwing almost died. Just sit there and be with her as a silent support.
Okay.
It's too early to try and talk things through.
I'll say roll a wisdom check.
My wisdom today. 17.
Okay. It takes probably like a few minutes, but eventually she seems to shake out of a like numb state almost and realize she has tea in her hand and sips it, kind of finally glances up, takes in everybody having arrived, sees you sitting there. I'm glad you're all here safe. Thank you for helping my daughters. Looking at those of you who aren't her daughters. And for helping to find my husband, I believe. Takes another sip of tea. And you hear a much louder rap on the door.
I'm going to the door this time.
Okay.
Fucking. Just gonna peek it open.
Okay, you see 2 ivory guard, which you recognize very clearly. Silvery metal armor, white cloak clasped onto it from the back. Both of them, a man and a woman. Blonde man and a brunette woman. Man has his helmet under his arm. Inspector Kovac is looking to speak with all of you at the Consortium as soon as possible.
Yeah, we'll be right there. We just got breakfast. Give us a couple minutes.
I think that should be all right. Just quickly, if you can.
Yep. 1 sec.
Puts the helmet back on and walks away. You close the door before he even walks away.
Yeah, I'm like, get the fuck out.
Yep.
All right. Fucking bitch ass. All right. Just they're antsy. So, right. So, if you guys did everybody else eat? Did anybody else?
We're alright. We got some stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
some of the swords sponsorship has come through. We got to make a stop by the armory, but we have some things. And I start laying everything out on the table. Do a count on the gold. How much do we?
150 gold pieces.
Gold. Okay. And then I lay out the 3 pieces that we were given. I've no idea what the fuck any of this does. So, apparently the pearl was owned by a mage, and then the other 2 were owned by a religious bearer of the swords. That's now retired.
Remy will stand up on her chair and just,
Yeah, there it is.
reach over and look at it all.
Okay.
Ah, wizard. Oh no, you're a sorcerer. You're not a wizard.
I will say,
No, we
roll an
don't.
Arcana check, Remy. I don't know if you have Identify, but before you even get to that, roll an Arcana check.
25.
Woo! Okay.
He knows everything.
You recognize 2 of the 3 items without doing any checks. One is a Pearl of Power, and the other is a Stone of Good Luck.
Oh.
That's the agate black stone with the carving in it. The third
Okay.
thing, the ring of metal, you're not sure about.
I'll cast Identify.
Okay.
Right, wait, while we're doing this, do you want to get the lens out for me? And I'll look at this other thing that I got.
Yes, yes, yes.
Ritually or with a spell slot, Remy?
Oh, originally.
Okay. Remy takes a little bit of time, casts Identify on the ringed piece of metal, and you 2 pull out the lens and check the medallion you got, Faye?
Yes.
Okay. Faye, you would actually finish first because your thing is quick. It takes an action. The small medallion you got from Indani is a medallion of the mind. And shortly after that, Remy, you finish. This appears to be a guardian emblem.
Yeah.
And you would know once you finish that it currently bears no distinguished form, but when attuned to by somebody who has a proclivity with the divine, it will form into a different appearance based on their god.
Do we already have one of those?
No,
Technically?
you have something that also does that, but
Does
it
the
is
same
not
thing. Okay.
this, yes.
Same visual, not the same exact.
Potentially.
Okay.
Wait, what was it called again?
A guardian emblem.
So this is a guardian emblem. It's mostly for people who get their magic from their god and not from hard work and studying. And
God, I love her every time, dude.
and this is full of power. And this is a stone of good luck.
Also said the sorcerer with the most shade fucking
Can I?
imagine.
Can I have a fire extinguisher? Because I just got burned.
Yep. Do you
Listen.
have great water?
Here's the thing. Azrin coming in hot.
Mmm.
Yeah.
Wow! Imagine. Alright!
Are you a sorcerer though?
No, she's got to be a wizard with meta magic.
Gotta
That's the
be
only
mixed.
thing that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's gotta be. That shit's so good, man.
'Cause that's something only a wizard would say.
That has some spice. God
It's
damn,
too zesty.
bro.
It's too zesty.
Alright.
I'll lean over to Faye. Is that the expense part?
I feel like that was just backhanded.
That was just honesty.
I really am not sure where I fall into that.
Holy shit. Watch Eclipse literally is just wide-eyed into her cup of whatever the hell she's drinking. It's just...
Mm-hmm.
Remy just
Let's continue on with their
just
day.
talking.
doesn't care. Holy shit.
I don't understand this item, Matt.
What is it? The thing
Medallion.
Ah.
Did
I
you
can
pull it up?
Yeah.
So you
It-
have one charge you can use on one of those 2 things.
Uh-huh.
And then once it's used in that way, it can't be used again until the next day.
Then why does it have 3 charges?
Does it say that?
Yeah.
I will address that! It does not.
Okay.
Can't do.
I can do one or the
Okay.
other once per day.
I already found it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm updating, and you should be good.
Okay. I was like, is it 3 total ever charges? Like, cause that's shit.
No.
Okay. This is familiar territory here for me. Your friend gave me this. But I hope I don't use it on you.
Sorry, wait.
What?
Avarice gave you that.
Mommy Tiefling? Yeah.
Oh, so wait. Hold on.
I'm just
What
like,
the fuck did you just say?
Well, was she a mother?
so we're supposed to go soon,
Mm-hmm,
guys. We could get this.
Which, speaking of which, the couple minutes that you
Yeah,
quoted has
I
already been
promise.
used up in the casting of
Yeah.
the Identify.
We gotta. We definitely need to get going.
Anything but to be here right now, please.
Anything but this conversation.
Yes.
Mother, I'm going to be back soon. We're gonna go check on some things, and if you need anything while I'm out, I can go grab it for you.
I think I'm alright for now, thank you.
Okay.
Takes another sip of Brightwing's tea.
Okay.
Does she like it?
Uh,
I think she likes it.
She seems to... You kind of get the sense that it might not matter whether she likes it or not.
Yeah,
She's more just
it's
drinking
just-
it for the act.
right. I don't. Shit. I really don't want to leave you here on your own.
I mean, I can stay with her. I'm
Yeah.
sure the guards got the Consortium on lockdown, more or less, so
Okay.
I don't know how important it is for me to be there right now.
I mean, I'd like you there to explain what happened, but I think you already did earlier, right? A little bit?
If they
Yeah.
bother you about it, let me know, but
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'll be back in a bit.
okay. Do you guys divvy up anything on the table, or does Adwin re-grab them? How do you guys want to handle that?
So
So I get the Pearl of Power, right?
Yeah!
That's how that
can-
works?
If it helps,
No.
since you don't have everything yet, I can tell you what each thing is relatively going to based off what you guys sent me. The
Cool.
Pearl of Power is going to Faye, the Stone of Good Luck is going to Yasnip, and the Guardian Emblem is going to Brightwing.
Okay.
And it sounds like Eclipse and Adwin's things might be related to the armory.
and also everybody gets 30 gold except for Remy.
Remy,
You
I'll give
get
Remy 15.
nothing.
Okay, Adwin gives you, or Yasnip gives you 15 gold, Remy.
Thank you, but I really don't need it. I have everything I need in my library.
It's what's proper, though. Look, if you don't take it, I'm gonna leave it inside of an apple on your doorstep.
Well, only if you cut it properly.
I will cut it terribly.
How would you even do that?
To anybody paying attention while he's doing that, she's also got like another thing. She's like, son of a bitch. All right.
I say as we're leaving, is there any like house plants that are looking a little sad?
There's
the whole house
probably
is sad.
houseplants. Yes, the whole house is sad. The plants have not been neglected, so they're looking fine, but there are houseplants. How neglected they may or may not be in the coming weeks, you don't know, but...
Yeah, I think I'll go to a couple of them and like kind of make the flowers bloom with Druidcraft just to make it look a little brighter. She
Okay,
has something to look at that's just a little life in it.
okay.
just see a potted plant on a couch talking to a therapist in the back.
It's just
Going
Edgeworth
through
talking
it.
to the pot.
Yeah.
How is Edgeworth? Is
There's
Edgeworth
two
here?
plants talking.
It's just the camera just pans back and forth, and nothing is being said or happening. But then you see a little tear come out of the pot of one of the plants.
Oh my gosh.
This is how we cope, you guys. I'm not even kidding. This is very emotional, and we're just getting through it right now. Please, we are not taking this lightly.
Yep.
This is how we cope right now.
Fine. True. I'm gonna go
wow,
over
they're
to
heartless
Edgeworth,
bastards.
and I'm gonna help. I'm gonna make Edgeworth just a little bit greener.
No.
Edgeworth. Okay.
I will.
Remy,
pull
do you
out-
allow this?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edgeworth looks very fluffy and green right now.
He says thank you.
Remy, what does he sound like? I just gotta know. What do these sound like? I just want to know.
Like, just like a plant.
Do they have like an accent? Do they... anything?
They're French. Merci.
Anyways, we're walking and talking. I'm gonna give Mom a hug before I leave. You're muted.
Matt, you're muted.
No.
It's your turn.
She holds on once again longer than she normally would before eventually letting you go.
Yeah.
How far are we from the consortium?
A couple minutes walk.
About 9
Great.
rounds of combat.
Not far.
I was gonna let Rylus know what was happening. You will agree that that's useful, or should we wait until after we've spoken with the Ivory God?
Let's talk with the god first. Let's go into this knowing the most information, and then we'll talk to Rylus.
Okay.
Okay, you guys had a consortium?
Mm-hmm.
Aidwin, did you have something?
No, I'm good.
No, he's just
Okay.
being an asshole.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep. Unequivocally.
Very fair. Okay. You guys head to the consortium. As you get there to the front steps, you see there are a number of Ivory Guard. Some of them seem to be more standing on guard in like full plate armor. Others seem to be potentially more like inspector level or detective-ish. They are not in plate, they're in leather, and they're doing a lot more like combing around. Not quite the little what are those little placards with the numbers on it that detectives set up? It's almost that, but it's not that. But you get that vibe from them. They're like casing the scene and trying to figure out what's going on. One of the guards that's standing at attention notices you. If you're looking for Inspector Kovac, she's up near the office.
Right. Yeah, we'll head up that way.
All right. You guys make your way up.
Is this about the same route we took last night?
Yes.
No.
It's pretty similar.
That's not fun.
Yeah, and then you make it. You go through the same hallway, and then up the same stairwell. And once you get there, and there are Ivory Guard posted at nearly every entrance and egress. They're all over this place right now. And in the large hallway where you fought the second group of creatures, you see a bunch more of these inspector-esque members of the guard. Finally, you make it up the stairwell, and there are 2 guards standing there in plate, and then you see a woman, looks to be half-elf or elf probably, maybe mid-30s, tall, dark tan skin, extremely thick, wavy black hair that's kind of gathered into a large braid that lays on one shoulder pauldron of her armor. Freckles, green eyes, leather armor, and then that ivory white cloak that you've seen on just about everybody. She notices you approach. I take it you're the Twilight Heralds, yes?
Yeah,
I'm Remy.
that's-
We're
Hey,
in his
Remy.
office?
Outside. She's in the hallway. Close to it.
Did you say and Remy?
Said I'm Remy.
Oh, you're
I said and Remy. That's Remy. I think once we get up the stairs, just like a thing, I'd probably stare at where Faye's body was sitting. Because I'm imagining that has not been cleaned up in any way, shape, or form.
Is there a potted plant nearby?
There has to be.
Edgeworth.
Is there a potted plant nearby besides Edgeworth?
Yes.
I would say not in this hallway, but you know that there is one in Hugo's office,
That's not
which is currently open, and there appears to be more inspectors involved. In this hallway, there are a bunch of busts, one of which Luna was slashing with a dagger the other night. Last night. This morning, really.
Yeah.
So she asks,
Right. One more time? Sorry. A little distracted.
the Twilight Heralds. That's
Yep.
you all. And Remy. Give a
Yes.
surname.
Camila Bellwill.
Any relation to Arcanist Lorelei Bellwiddle?
Yes.
Small world, I suppose. She's on her way here, actually. Going to help with the investigation. But I'd like to ask you all a few questions, if that's amenable.
Of course.
In the office, perhaps, so we don't all have to stand around.
That would be ideal.
All right. Walks in. She stays like not quite standing, but like half seated on the front edge of the desk, like leaned up against it, sort of. And you guys, there are a number of chairs still from the time when you met with Hugo, and so you can grab chairs.
Step
And
very widely over the pile of my own blood that's still on the floor.
yep, which is
Yeah.
absolutely stained into the rug right now.
Yeah. Well, I think we both kind of have a...
Just kind of both sit there and stare at it.
Yeah. Just-
I'm just gonna sort of pat Faye on the shoulder to just kind of try and usher her away from all that.
Okay. I will, or as you do that, and as everyone's sitting down, she'll. I imagine you already know this, but no adjusting the scene with magic or otherwise, please.
Have you checked the scene already for any magical means of watching?
No, but that's one of the things that the Arcanist is meant to help with.
Great.
But we've been casing what we can. Quite a lot seemed to go on last night. And we won't go through the entire thing, but she asks every sort of question that one might ask, probing into the events of last night. Is there anything that anybody wants to specifically withhold or mislead on, based off just the questions of what happened?
I would like an insight check before we tell her anything.
Okay.
Just a vibe check.
Sure.
That's okay.
Roll an insight check.
What does my passive 19 say?
I will address that as well.
Cool.
Oh.
43!
Wow!
Yeah!
Okay.
Should have used this dice the other night.
Both Brightwing and Faye, you get a sense of very serious, dedicated, seasoned, determined head inspector of a important case that involves a lot of big pieces and is currently hot but growing colder by the minute, and so she seems urgent but straight, more or less. Anything that anybody wants to withhold or mislead on regarding the events?
I think
Unless-
it would be a hard cutoff after phase revival. So anything that took place
Yeah.
after that would be completely left out.
Yeah.
Okay. She does get to a point of questioning about what occurred after the resurrection and the end of the battle, or at least the end of the creatures that had been battled. So, you would just... Is there things you're skipping and then going on to the rest of the night? Or do you just kind of like give her a, we're not going to talk about anything else? How do you want to handle that?
I would probably jump in and just say, like, well, we had larger problems at that point. No, including but not limited to the fact that I was dead and their mother was home by herself. So...
Very understandable. Did you do any inspecting of your own after the fact, and did you learn anything?
To be completely honest, yes. We checked around to see if anything was left, and unfortunately we didn't find much.
Any leads at all on the responsible parties?
Unless told otherwise, Remy will say everything. So.
Okay.
Fuck.
That checks out.
I'm not the problem.
Does everybody stay
Yay!
silent at that question then, or does someone speak up with a different answer?
I'll probably point towards where the magic was detected to get in, and then the door. And that's probably all I'm really going to reference is just that's how they got in, and that's how they got out. And they broke the magic lock.
Okay. All right. And your group, in particular, you're connected here, I assume, through your father. Are you intending any further involvement in this?
Absolutely.
Or... All right. I'd ask, if possible, that you keep me abreast. Anything relevant to the investigation, certainly. If you leave, that would be useful information as well. There are very few persons more closely connected to the events of last night than the 6 of you. And your sister as well, I believe, was involved. She's not here.
She is currently attending to my mother.
Understood. I will make time to speak with her later then. As well as your mother. Ideally, it would be good to learn what we can, although I understand the situation is sensitive.
She is aware of the current state.
Understood.
May I ask a question?
I don't see why not. I don't know what answers I'll have for you yet. We haven't found much, but go ahead.
Have you located or confirmed whereabouts on the secretary?
Evelyn.
Yes.
Bone. No, well, yes, we located her, and I spoke with her already. But as far as we can tell, she was not involved in any way. She was home, asleep, as I assume most were. Alibi was confirmed by family. I don't believe we have cause for concern there, but certainly she is a person of interest given her connection to Mr. Faunois. But she has been questioned.
What sort of recovery
And-
efforts does the Ivory Guard have for after this?
In terms of Mr. Faunois himself,
Speak no less.
it depends on what trails we find. so far we don't have much of one. I'm hoping that Arcanist Bellwhittle can help with that. But even then, we are peacekeepers, not necessarily bounty hunters. Or... well, it seems like perhaps you may be a better fit for that sort of a mission. Or the swords. If someone is willing to pay them. Glances at you, Adrian, pretty pointedly when she says that. But certainly I will, as I've asked you to with me, I will keep you informed of anything we find. And if you or the swords do undertake some sort of pursuit, we'll want to know.
We definitely plan on it. So, just so you're aware.
Understood. Around that time, you hear a rap on the door. A low rap on the door. And you see in the doorway a pink-haired, gnomish woman. Pale skin, light blue eyes, fair freckles. Kind of a pixie cut. Wearing Arcanist robes. And carrying in her palm a crystal ball sort of item with crisscrossing strands of gold wire filigree around the outside of it.
Around the outside.
Uh-huh. Yes, you would know her, Eclipse. Remy, you obviously know her, and the rest of you can mostly, probably all of you, put together the resemblance. Hello. I was asked for. Miss Bellwhittle, yes, I would, we need a magical, eye, if you will, on this. I assume you've heard. Yes, I've heard a bit. She nods at the rest of you, specifically Eclipse and Remy. Was there magic involved? Yes, there was, likely, from the stories that I've had from these folk, magic involved here. And we don't know of what kind. That's what we're hoping you can help with. I mean, I suppose so. That's what I do. And she kind of steps forward a little bit from into the room from the doorway, and palms out the crystal orb and then releases it, and it hovers in the air. And she draws a number of what appear to be sigils with her fingers. You see small gold sparks appear in the air, and then they sort of dissolve into the ball or the orb, and then burst outwards.
Is there a plant?
Remy,
inside the orb?
Is there a plant?
Inside the
No.
orb?
Oh,
There's
man.
no plant that you can see.
Okay.
Remy, I think that you would probably recognize this spell. It's not something you can cast, but it is something that, being familiar with your mother and being familiar with magic in general and the academic side of it, this is a spell called Arcane Trace.
God damn, okay.
You see this this kind of burst of gold light that comes after these threads of sigil disappear into the orb, and then it bursts outwards. And you see her start to look around and just sort of case the area. Initially at the door, kind of looks at it closely, nods, pitter-patters into the room further, glances around, goes over to the side of the room where, Faye, you had seen the portal, stops there. Furrowed brow a bit.
Is there anything
then
projected on the walls?
Not that you see yet. You just see her looking at air, as far as you can tell so far. And then she goes back to the door. Well, there is quite a bit. The door, the lock on it was dispelled, it appears. Decently average level for that sort of magic. Then there was a portal over here, which, from what I can tell, appears to have come from a portal rod of some kind. And then there is a very small trace of a short distance teleportation magic that appeared from about here to there. And she points from near the door, a little bit inwards of the door, over to near where the portal was. Faye, you
I
probably...
would have shared that.
Yeah. So all of you would know that that figure that killed Faye seems to dissolve and then reappear in a different spot at one point shortly after striking her. You figure that may be what that was. I can... If there's expectation that the lock was... Well, I can make it visible if we want to view what happened. Would that be helpful?
Doesn't see the activity itself.
Is it...
Not exactly. Not the... Well, I just... And she twists her hand once and then pulls back with her other hand. And you see a series of lines of arca. Remy, you would recognize this immediately. Did anybody else, when Remy was doing the studies of your magic, stand behind with her and look? I believe some people did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't, but, yeah.
So it looks a lot like, yeah, you were downstairs
Right,
reading comic books.
I've probably
Okay.
seen it before.
Anyone who was standing behind, it looks quite a bit like that. And Remy, you know for sure that that's what it is, based off not only how it appears, but the nature of this spell. It doesn't show us the caster, but these lines of arca would be... they're sort of a signature, if you will. So if there's any record of them, it's possible someone could identify them that way. And you see, particularly Remy, you take note because this is something you study a lot. What seem to be silvery, almost like mercury liquid-like strands that vibrate slightly form the shapes of the sigils of this spell, the spell that was cast.
Is there a way to tell if it was a spell that was cast or was an object used?
It appears to be a spell that was cast, a dispel magic. Based off the lines, it was from a caster. The portal over there appears to have been from a rod, so that was something different. And then this small bit of quick teleportation seems to be innate. It doesn't seem to be a spell or an item. Difficult to identify exactly what that would have been.
Would it also pick up my magic that I used in the office?
Your
Detect magic?
Yeah.
detect magic? Yes, it would. Actually. And she would make note of that. Also just a general aura of magic detection. To which the inspector looks at you, Brightwing. I imagine that was yours, unless someone else did it as well earlier, from what you described.
No, that was me.
I asked her to.
I didn't see anything besides the dispel lock.
All right. Well, is there any way to trace the record of those strands, as you call them? Not that I have on hand. I know, and she looks over at you, Remy. My daughter does a good deal of study. I'm not sure if...
Well, if they're from the university, I might have a record of them. I make all my students, for extra credit, they get their magic detected.
Yeah, and you have records of these things?
Lots of them.
And do you know if you'd be able to identify someone from what you see here?
kind of magic's pretty distinct, so I think I would have a note of that.
All right, that could be very helpful then. Where would we need to acquire that information?
At the very top of the tower.
All right. Well, I think
My
I'm
office hours
done
are
with.
from 12:30 p.m. to 2:30 a.m.
Might we be able to make an exception for this?
I'll see if I can make some time.
But I wonder if your schedule might be free in the next 10 minutes or so.
Oh, yeah, right now? We can go right now.
If that would be... This is probably our best lead, and we've cased this office many times and don't have much else, so if you're willing... Thank you, Arcanist Bellwhittle. I may contact you again. There are other portions of this event, or the night's events, that I'd like you to look at, but I think we're going to follow this thread for now, if that's all right. Yes, of course. I'll be in the academy. Thank you. Well, if you'd kindly lead the way. Looking at you, Remy.
I lead him out the door, and I'll say to Faye, well, I've never seen the magic of someone who's died and come back to life before, so if you'd like to see if your magic's changed.
Very much so.
Okay. All right, you guys make your way over the next period of time to the base of the cloud spire, and then up with the winged boots again to Remy's study inside.
Matt,
Yes.
while we're on the winged boots, I think where'd you go? Brightwing, I think, gets a flashback to her own dream from the previous night. Can I make an inside check on that dream? See what the frick the Wilds were trying to tell me?
From a couple nights ago?
No, it was the same night that the attack.
It was last
Oh,
night.
it was the same night. Interesting. I will say roll a religion check.
I'm not smart. Religion.
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
Or I would say religion or nature, whichever one
Let's go nature.
you choose. I don't know if they're different.
Alright, because we switched it in game to cheat.
That's right.
That's cat.
Cact.
16 plus 8.
24.
24.
Okay. Do you want me to speak openly, or do you want people to deafen?
Oh, yeah, it's deafen.
Okay. Everybody could deafen, and I'll give you the headphones in a second. You take a minute or two as you walk to just kind of reflect. And it's a mixed feeling. Because there's a part of you that gets the sense that there are some premonition-esque attributes to these dreams you've been having. A couple of other them have been relevant to where you've gone and what you've done. But there's a part of it that is also seems more thematic or relevant to the power that you are growing into and the use of it that the wilds desires from you. And so you get a sense that there is a, I am gifting you more, and I expect this from you in return. And there was a word that you heard towards the end. And then there is also a sense that it may be connected more concretely to a future event. You're not sure. This is not something that you experienced previously in your life. The Molly dream was the first one. So you're still trying to make sense of whether like you've gained some sort of foresight or if it's just coincidence or what. But that's what you get.
Cool. Thank you.
Skidly-dee-dee-dee-doo-doo. Oh! We actually could take a break here. This probably makes sense. A couple people are gone. So let's take a break. All right. We'll jump back in. You guys have made your way to Remy's office, and with Inspector Kovac in tow. Yes, Edwin.
I think actually in transit, Edwin would probably,
If it's all the same, I'm going to stop by the swords, get by the armory, go ahead and pick up our stuff while this is happening. I have some other things I want to work on, so I'll catch up.
I think that should be all right. Is that a place to find you sometimes, if need be?
Yes.
All right, and I assume the Fournoir home is as well. She looks at the rest of you, specifically you, Eclipse.
Yeah.
If I need to find you. All right, good to know. No problem. Thank you for your answers, and for your work last night. I imagine it saved some life.
Right.
and he will turn and
Branch
walk
off.
away. Yeah.
Okay. All right. The rest of you make your way up to Remy's office. And
Do we boots?
We boot.
you do boots, yes. You boots your way up.
I'm gonna take a hard look at Yasnip.
You'll see him kind of look back towards you, look down at your loot, look back up at you. Subtle wink.
Faye, roll a d20 for me.
It's an 11.
Okay. when he does that, and as people are putting on boots, you glance at your own loot, which you have not done today because it's been a hectic day. It's probably been strapped to your back. You haven't been casting any spells. And you woke up in a rough state. And you notice, sort of tied lightly to one of the tuning knobs, an earring. Looks to be an ear cuff made from a sleek blackened metal. And at the center of the cuff, there is a sparkling diamond, casting subtle glimmers that illuminate the cuff's dark metal surface. And adjacent to the diamond, you see two concentric circles intersecting, creating a pattern that suggests a sense of harmony. And the larger of the two gracefully encircles the diamond, while the smaller lies within the larger, at two distinct points, giving the ear cuff a sense of depth and dimension. And it was not there before.
I just noticed it.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna put it on.
Okay.
It's cursed.
It's fine. It's pretty.
Do you say anything?
I'm gonna look
Or
at
just
you.
put it on?
I'm gonna look back at Yasnip and I'll kind of hold it and look at him and with a quizzical look.
Just gonna turn and boots up.
Aww.
Facts.
Aww.
We'll boots up afterwards.
Okay. You all boots up. Eventually do reach the landing where you know the path up to Remy's office is. Land. Make your way up. Remy unlocks the door, walks in. And Remy, you would know where your records for all of the Arca that you've tested is kept. So I assume you go straight to it.
Yep. Take out like 10 massive volumes.
Okay.
I'll help him.
Me too.
Okay. I need you to roll an investigation check.
I'm gonna pick up the edition of the Iron Suns comic book that Eclipse was reading and give it to her. And I'm gonna take the one that I was reading and open it back up.
Okay.
Just hang out.
I forgot I said it by name, but that's what that was called.
Yes, you did. It is very canon.
Whoops.
21 investigation.
21? Okay. Is there anything that anybody wants to do in a potentially significant amount of time while Remy looks through this?
I think when I'm handed the comic book, you see her actually put it back. She's actively paying attention.
Okay.
I'm gonna poke.
Poke?
Poke through the things, just surface level notes and knickknacks and things like that, just curiosity. And I want to see if there's anything that I can understand.
Okay.
This is the algebra 2 student walking into the trigonometry classroom and trying to see what they understand, but I'm still curious.
Okay. I will say roll an investigation and an arcana check. One of each.
Investigation is a 25. Yeah, and then arcana is... Scroll up. 17.
Okay. Remy, I will give you some time as we go to Aedwin to come up with anything interesting that you think that Faye might find here. So while you think of that and while actual Remy searches, we will swap over. Aedwin, you, after a bit of a walk, make your way back to the sheath. Are you going straight to the armory?
Yes.
Okay. you make your way kind of around the backside of the main office and find what is a mix between sort of a smithy and a leatherworking shop. There's all kinds of things here that would be of use to swords and bearers and the relevant missions that they go on. And you see, working with what it looks to be the pieces of some studded leather armor, kind of sewing, adjusting, cutting, you see a black-scaled dragonborn man, very tough, strong physicality, and a long pink-white scar that goes from his left eyebrow down to his clavicle. Looks like he's wearing essentially blacksmith who might be called on to fight garb. And as you walk up, "You are Eowyn, yes?"
That's correct.
I had a couple of things for you.
So I heard.
He stands up, leaves his work, goes around a desk, pulls out a couple of large packages and brings them back. Sets one down, wrapped in, it seems, in cloth, and then the other thing is a large shield. This is enchanted shield. Little bit stronger than normal. Believe it will be fitting for you. And in package there is mithril splint armor. One of our finer pieces, so you will use it well.
It will certainly be taken care of and it will find good use. Incidentally, I've got some things. If you have a bit of time to spare, I've got a few weapons looking to manufacture.
Possibly can help you. What in particular are you looking for? Or looking to make?
Edwin goes ahead and pulls out the Cruthic claws as well as the Displacer Beast tentacles.
Okay.
And fuck it, while he's at it, he'll take out the Displacer Beast hide that he has.
Okay.
This is what we're working with. Now, the tentacles I had a pretty clear idea for. There's a weapon called tether hooks. I'm sure you've heard of it. Figure these can be decently fashioned to serve a similar purpose.
He sort of feels them, twists. It seems to be like testing the pliability. Quite a fitting use for something like this, actually. Should be quite simple, in fact.
As for the Cruthic claws, thinking about making some sort of chakram of some kind. Something aerodynamic.
Something to be thrown, perhaps,
Yes,
if need be.
exactly.
Indeed. Both of these things make logical sense and should not be difficult. Are you requesting to use the armory for this, or do you need assistance of some kind?
Well, if you wouldn't mind helping me through the process. It's been a while since I last manufactured something like this.
Lieutenant Merritt said you are under sponsorship and that if I can help, I should do so. So I believe my work can wait a bit. All right. Let's see what we can do. Cracks his knuckles and starts pulling various items, bits of leather and small, like rivets and things to attach stuff together. I will have you and he roll a check. One is going to be an intelligence check, and one is going to be a strength check. I will let you choose which one you roll.
Definitely.
Not knowing necessarily his stats.
Yeah.
You're going to do strength?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, you can also add your proficiency bonus.
Gotcha.
So roll that and tell me what you get.
It's either really good or really bad.
Got an 8.
Total?
Total. I rolled a natural 2.
Ooh-wee. Okay. He rolled pretty high, which makes up for some of it, but potentially not all. So you guys do some work over a period of probably 2 to 3 hours. So we'll come back to you.
Okay.
And the results. Going back to the office. Halia, not Remy, do you have anything that Faye would have come across?
Yeah, you'd find lots and lots of books on like the stars and the planes, multiplanar theory and the origins of magic, planes or planets, shit, I can't read my handwriting. Mathematical proofs for mundane methods of interplanar travel. Yeah. Botany for beginners. Arca of Mana and gateways. Origins of magic, prehistory Arca use, and other plant identification.
I'd probably grab that Origins of Magic. Sit down with that for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Remy, I will say, if you don't have one, take a charge of DM inspiration. Because that was exquisite. Eventually, over some time, you begin to hone in a search, find a few different potentials, and then hone in further from there. And you, with that roll, narrow it down to what seems to be a singular person that fits what you had seen. You have records of a high-level student, higher even than you. This would be like PhD, postdoctorate level, named Cyrus Nichols. I will spell this because I promised that I would do that.
I'm gonna guess it's Nichols.
Oh!
Not Nichols? There's a couple ways to spell Cyrus, too.
With a Y.
And you know this, you have notes on this student, and first of all, the notes on the Arca that you have perfectly match what you saw at the office. Additionally, you know him to be a Dunamancy wizard.
Damn Dunamancy wizards.
And based off of the notes that you have on him and what you understand of his study, from a meta perspective, to put it in numbers for your understanding of his power, you expect he'd be like maybe a 8th to 9th level wizard. Stronger than you.
It looks like Cyrus Nichols is our culprit. His magic's more focused on time stuff. So
You see, as soon as you say a name, and just so matter-of-factly, the inspector sits up immediately in her chair, which she'd kind of been slouched into because it had been a while. I'm sorry, did you just say a name? You have a name?
Cyrus Nichols.
Holy this is why we keep you arcane people around. Okay. Is he a student here?
He was, or still is, or at least he was when I took his reading.
All right. Any other details you have?
He's pretty powerful for a student. And And like I said, his focus is more dunamancy, so time magic.
Time magic?
Manipulation of the essence of time. See, we perceive time as a straight line. We go from point A to point B. But time is really not linear.
It is, in fact, a weird soup.
It's almost like a stew. There's some chunks that are solid that can't be changed or moved, but a lot of it is fluid and liquid and can be moved around.
Wow, that made complete sense.
So-
You just said that. Whoa.
What you're saying is they broke into my dad's office?
Well, we knew that already.
But this
I was-
person helped them?
Yeah.
And you know nothing of why. Nothing about him that would indicate that.
Do I?
No. You have basic information on his power level and what kind of magic, and that he came to you for this testing, but nothing on his background or motivations or anything like that.
Can I ask an above the table question?
Sure.
Would we have mentioned to this investigator that there was a stasis circlet on Hugo's head?
I would say that you would have, unless you all as a group tell me that you would have not wanted to, because that is a pretty critical portion of the events that only you would have had the information on. And you didn't say you withheld anything from before the death. So unless you as a group decide that all of you said nothing, I would say yes.
Does everybody agree with that?
I think we already kind of sealed the deal on that one,
Yeah.
so I think we just roll with it.
I do have
So-
one on me still. That is working.
To the mention of Remy going back into the table. Didn't those circlets slow people's heartbeat?
Yes, it slowed it down to the same rate as sleep.
I'm gonna pull it up.
Is that a time-based device?
That's magic.
Okay. As you cast it, the inspector, when you pull it out, you have one of these on you.
It's not the first time we've seen it.
Cast identify.
Okay. Both?
No, I don't have detect.
Okay. Okay. Please hold, so I
And
can
if-
tell you exactly.
If not just by identifying perhaps your machine, if it's active, the magical implements also trigger the effects?
Do they?
Say your question again?
Do magic items trigger her observation machine?
No.
Okay.
In terms of like seeing the arca from
Yeah.
spells, no.
Okay.
Okay. You cast Identify. You recognize this to be a stasis circlet once you finish the spell. When worn for an hour, the wearer becomes attuned to it and goes into a stasis, which is equivalent to a deep sleep, except that the wearer does not need to eat or drink and can remain in the stasis for up to 7 days before waking.
Wow.
You also know that the stasis...
To attune?
Yes. You know the stasis is broken if the headband is removed or if the wearer takes damage. And once broken, the circlet becomes inert until it can be reactivated by an arcanist or artificer with the ability to do so.
We haven't identified that thing yet?
We identified it, but not to that extent. We don't have
I may have sent you guys a link to it at some point.
I don't think we ever.
I don't think we ever.
I was told it was a circle of sleep,
Yeah.
and that was it. I don't remember getting a description.
I think we thought it was that you plunk it on their head and they're immediately out.
Yeah, we had the stasis circlet, but the one that we had that we tried using Identify on was depleted.
inert. Yeah, we had no idea.
We-
So we knew
we
what it was,
never-
but not how it worked.
We knew that the new one was magical, but we never identified it.
You also know from your putting it on the Blightling that it didn't immediately
Oh yeah, I knocked it out.
stasis them. Correct. You had it
Yeah.
unconscious, and then after a period of time, it seemed to kick in.
Right. Okay.
But it was unconscious, so we didn't notice.
Can we get
Well,
that
It was
description
faint.
somewhere?
The-
Yeah.
I don't think we have
The
it.
transition was faint. Do you have the item?
Yeah, I do. But I had it as just a circlet of sleep. I
Okay,
didn't-
if you search stasis circlet, you should be able to find it.
Okay.
And I will say, given the general intelligence of this group,
There it is.
especially you, Faye, and Eclipse probably as well, based off the situation, would probably recognize that it is possible, if not probable, that Hugo was knocked unconscious and that the circlet wasn't in effect given the amount of time that had passed from the start of the attack. When Faye saw him, at least.
Getting real.
So I guess, is it possible that that's the same type of magic? Is it what you said?
Remy, roll an Arcana check.
28.
Holy mackerel.
Jesus.
Okay. So, you know that the way that magic items work is not quite the same as spells, where there's a very clearly defined school of magic. However, there is often traces of certain schools based off the enchantment that's applied to something. And this would appear to be a bit of a mix of enchantment and dunamancy.
Well, it's part Dunamancy, part enchantment.
It is not looking good for them right now.
All right. Well, I don't know if we can find this person, Mr. Nichols, that you mentioned, but we will make it our top priority. He seems to be, if not the primary suspect, at least very much connected.
He's a student here. They've got all his records.
Indeed. I will speak to someone at the academy immediately. Thank you. Primarily looking at you, Remy, but then glancing at the rest of the group as well. This has been helpful. If I need to speak with you again, Miss Bellwittle, you'll be here.
I'll be here.
All right. And the rest of you, Fournoir House or the Sheath potentially if needed.
Probably.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Where is your headquarters in case we need to get word to you?
It's on the west side of the city. She gives you a couple directions based on streets.
But
to
I have
where
a
you should be
general
able to find
idea
it.
of where the Ivory
Yes,
Guards
you would also know where
are
it is.
anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. You've interfaced with them quite a bit.
It's just called Ivory Guard Headquarters.
Is there anything
Yeah,
specific?
Okay.
it's their base of operations in the city.
Inspector Kovac.
Hmm.
You mentioned that your force is a peacekeeping force and not one of search and rescue. Or mercenary,
less,
as
yes.
it may be.
Indeed.
We've expressed an interest in continued investigation. Do we have assurance that we will not be stopped in this investigation? As long as we have an agreement to share that information with you.
I don't know if I can make full assurances that anything you do is free reign, but I will certainly let the guard know that what your role in this is, and not to obstruct you unless things get exceedingly out of hand. Obviously, I'd rather not have you browbeating citizens.
No, we're more settled than that. I just meant as far as certain doors being closed to us.
No. I can't imagine there would be any reason to obstruct your work, and I believe we can have a mutual accord to assist one another. That would be my hope.
I agree. I just wanted to confirm. I think it's best to not leave certain things left unsaid.
Agreed. I will be in touch, possibly shortly if I can find information on this Nichols in the near term. Thank you again. I'll take my leave. She heads out.
Once they leave, I'm going to just ask. I don't mean to be that guy, but plainly, does this mean Cyrus was one of the Soulforged?
Remy, you would have at least the basic information of race and know that he is a human. From your notes, at least.
No, he's human. Or at least he was.
So they had.
I don't know if he can stop being human.
So they either found him in the hall and held him at blade point to open that door, or he helped them.
Would he have had any reason to... Well, and we won't know unless we know, but would he have had any reason to have just been wondering about the Consortium at that time? I was under the assumption that they opened the door themselves and had magical abilities, with this... resets a bit of that for me.
Well, given
The portal we opened was not innate magic. It was a magic item.
The portal, yeah. The step that he took, that mist-like step, appeared to have been innate.
That's the only thing that has me curious.
We know of Soulforged. Are they built? Someone creates them, right?
When a mother Soulforged and a father Soulforged love each other very much.
That part is not required, okay?
I will say...
Tolerate each other enough.
I will say anybody who wants to roll a... I'll say an Arcana check. If you're not Remy, you have disadvantage.
I'm not rolling.
Okay, that seems very fair since I don't think you'd ever even seen one before the one on the road.
25.
Oh my lord.
9.
14.
5.
Okay. 25? Oh, 5.
Man, you
Slightly
would
different.
think. Rock
Okay.
campaign, but
True. Faye, I think you probably know the basics, which is that they are created, but beyond that, not much of the particulars. And they are not super common because they are created. Remy, you would know quite a bit about them, given the arcana involved in their creation. They are relatively new to Aanthara, discovered and created in the late 17th century, PR, during the War of Ashes. Specifically created by a pioneering group of magic users and scientists called the Birthright Initiative, spelled like this. as a counter to the abyssal or demonic creatures among the Garcalan forces, which is a word you've heard recently in some notes, that specialize in poison damage and disease, and therefore were ravaging the more human, half-elf, etc. armies of the realms of Aanthara, and these Soulforges were created specifically to counter that. This initiative, the Birthright Initiative, was based in Skyhall, a city you know to be the most technologically advanced in Kathos, if not all of Aanthara, particularly when it comes to mixing technology and magic, which is often called spell tech. And you also know that it took decades of study and theorization and experimentation to figure out how to make them and to hone the tools and the processes necessary to create sentient beings imbued with a soul, which they are, housed in a mechanically constructed body. And I would say, what did you roll? 26?
25.
25? Holy mackerel. Okay, we're just doing the whole damn thing then. You know that their life essence is primarily centered around a soul stone, which is a rare aqua-colored crystal found in the deep caves of the Fallspine mountain range, which is spelled like this, since everybody will spell it wrong if I don't put this here, unless you're looking at the map. And these crystals are heavily attuned to magic and magic manipulation. And these soul stones are infused, enchanted, and prepared by a combination of arcane and divine magic from various technicians to receive and contain a soul. And it's a good thing I wrote this out. There is a massive spell tech based construction called the Birthright Collider in the northern Karth Crest Range, which is powered by and focused around the fusion of arcane and divine magics that essentially manipulates and overcharges particles and rays of Arca within its confines until they, on very rare occasion, typically about once a month, collide in such a way as to either form or siphon, and nobody knows yet which, an individual soul, which is then immediately transferred into a soul stone. And then once that has occurred, it can be placed into a construct, also made by the Birthright Initiative, which creates this creature.
Does Remy say any of this out loud?
Yeah,
Knowing Remy, I assume all of it.
all of it.
Yeah.
At the whole containing a soul thing, Brightwing just like turns her head. That sounds like a Wicana.
A what?
It is our ceremony when we come of age, when the wilds give us our partner in life. We call it the Koyakia, but it is an animal soul. We house two souls in our body.
This one just sounds like it pulls a soul from wherever it was resting.
The ether. Or an outgoing soul. If you
It
happen
takes
to
a soul from somewhere.
die
We don't
poorly timed.
really know where.
There are multiple camps on this, Remy, that you would know. Some believe strongly that it creates one. Literally creates a soul somehow, and others believe that it is pulled from elsewhere. And there is a good amount of political and social debate about this, as you can imagine. The morality and ethics involved, and not everybody is super on board with it. But from everything beyond the point of the creation of the stone and the placement in this form that the Birthright Initiative creates, as far as anyone knows or can ascertain, these are creatures like any other, bearing a soul that makes them an individual person.
I
That
just
means
I
they
didn't know
can be-
anyone could do that sort of magic besides the wilds.
Well, it's very powerful magic that they have, and big machines that they use to harness it.
I just don't understand how a machine could do that.
Well, and Remy will turn to her bookshelf.
Uh-huh.
I don't mean to be of offense, Remy, but these will not last forever. Nature will.
Well, we can make them last for a really, really, really long time. And that might as well be forever.
Alright. It's definitely like, okay.
Brightwing, how long have your people been doing what they do?
Centuries.
And how long has this been around? The whole soul forging thing?
Remy, you would know it is approximately 1600 years.
Well, it's been around for about 1600 years, which is a really long time.
Wouldn't be surprised if they got their idea from somewhere.
I do not know. My people are, technology is very, frowned upon. I'm more open to it. I still don't much understand nor care for it. But I doubt they would let people take notes.
Brightwing, I would say you would also understand, though you really don't understand much of anything that has been spouted by Remy.
No.
The Wicana and the unity that it creates with this soul afterwards is much more of a symbiotic relationship, whereas this sounds like more of a singular thing. And so that's one thing that you can grasp onto that you understand in the difference between the two.
We've
Well-
never transferred a soul between souls before. We are just housed of a relationship between the two, never a singular.
Yeah, I get that. Not a lot of thoughts are original, is what I'm trying to say.
It's not
They
really
usually
my
come from
field
somewhere.
of study, but before history is written down, there's always a lot of, people and groups of people would talk to each other and exchange knowledge. And, well, I think there's another wizard here, or maybe it's somewhere else. She focuses a lot on prehistoric magic. Could have been here. I don't know if it was here. But it could have been that.
Yeah.
My people aren't very keen on outsiders.
I would be interested to find out if that wasn't always the case. But we're really diving off the deep end of this one, but it is something I'd like to keep in mind.
I was going to contact them today just to make sure everything was alright there, considering what has happened.
Oh yeah, we've got to decide what we're going to tell Rylus.
We do need to talk to him.
Wonder if he can get here quickly.
I would ask. What was he asking?
So it's hard with so few words, but you guys are ahead of me on that.
Just tell him we have an update.
I can do it 3 times now.
Me too! 4 now with this thing.
Interesting.
Speaking of which, nobody stated anything, but did anybody take any of the items after they were identified individually, or did Adwin hold on to them? I assume, Faye, you took the pearl.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
If they were stated like that, imagine deliberation, Yasnip would have grabbed the agate.
Could the time spent with Remy's research have been enough time to attune? I can now read the book.
Oh, I should probably add that to my inventory then.
Yes, I will say between, like, you can do the beginning of it during, like, low walk periods, and then this has been, like, a good 40 minutes of research, and then a few minutes afterwards, so yes, I would say by now you could. Brightwing and... No, Yasnip, you said you took the stone. Brightwing, did you take the emblem?
I think Brightwing would be curious, and would have asked if it was okay.
I think no one would have stopped you.
Okay, then she'll take it. She'll try to attune.
Okay.
I need to... The Wi-Fi's not working. Come on, Wi-Fi.
So I think we should tell Rylus as soon as possible if he needs time to get here.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. There are ways to travel quickly. I would like to test and see if Rylus has access to any of these.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
I'm not sure if Sean is intending to talk to himself, or...
He's talking to himself.
Okay, he's talking to himself.
Bitch, I've summoned one bitch in another campaign. I'll do it again. Don't test me.
Did we lose Brian? Brian, are you there?
Yeah, he did again.
No,
Unfortunately, he is back.
Oh.
We're back.
I was kind of stalling for it.
Yeah.
We also have the red button option sending I mentioned. Are we on?
Listen, we are not pressing.
We are not pressing.
We are not doing that.
Particular red button.
For many reasons, we are not doing that. No, we are not doing that.
Just Leah suggested.
We're not doing that.
I appreciate the muted Sean rant.
Yeah.
It's not.
Watch him just not be saying real words.
Red button sending.
Now he's losing his
red
shit.
Button.
We're not pressing that red button. We pressed the red button in the other one, and it worked out really well. We are not pressing it in this one because it will get us fucking murdered.
I mean,
it already did.
It worked out. I don't know if that red button sending worked out that well.
Yes, it
We
did.
got information. Whether or not it
Yes,
worked
it
out, I
did.
don't know.
I don't know what you mean. No red button. We're not doing that. But
For later.
right, if you do it on your own, I will end you.
Riley would never do it. Riley, I can't even do it. I don't know what they look like. It's only
That's what I'm
Faye.
saying. Joni.
Oh.
I will self-destruct.
I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it. I physically can't do it, so I'm not gonna do it.
Sean is still
So,
ranting at himself.
He's losing it. So, to Rylus then.
I'm typing.
Okay.
Counting words.
Okay,
Understand.
I will say while that happens, the time of attunement finishes.
I
Brightwing.
don't even. Oh, it does require. It doesn't. This is. It says it requires attunement, but doesn't have the attunement. A.
If you go to Inventory tab on D&D Beyond,
And scroll to the bottom.
To the bottom, the items that require attunement will be in checkmarked on the right-hand side, and then your slots are on the left.
Got it. Thank you. Never mind.
Does it have that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so an hour, roughly, of attunement is up while you guys are talking. And Brightwing, you feel a slight warmth on your chest where this emblem is hanging. And you look down. And so it's this ring of a dark metal that is like that thick all the way around and then is empty in the center. And as you feel it warm, you look and you see small, very small, like miniaturized almost, branches and vines begin to crawl across the open space in the center and intertwine. And they continue to do this from different directions until they essentially form what looks almost like a dream catcher, kind of, with a tighter weave in the center of what looks like grass from the Khaing plains that forms the rough vertical shape of a thin leaf or feather vertically down the center.
What does this one do? Or do you want to keep it a secret?
Oh no, I'll just tell you. It helps. It helps if you get a critical hit, and I'm within 30 feet. I can make it not a critical hit.
Just once?
That's like
3
the grave
times.
cleric shit.
Thrice.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. It is grave cleric.
Wow.
It's very good.
How does that... We have to talk about how that would stack with my thing. Or if.
I see.
I did have one question, but because of the disconnect, I'm sorry that it's a little bit back.
That's okay. We haven't really done anything since you left.
Yeah, we haven't gone much further.
Yeah.
Where exactly is Sky Hall?
Sky Hall is northeast of Ilmara.
I will put you on the map if you would like.
Big wide eyes of Elfu.
It's still Kathos, though, right?
Yes, it is. It is on the. Oh, you are on the map. It is on the border of Kathos and Vordon.
Got it.
It's actually literally bordering a river, the crossing which becomes Vordon.
And the collider is up in the north of that mountain range, correct? That
Correct.
Crescent mountain range. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Faye will come up with a piece of scratch paper and a quill and just say, "All right, here we go." Emergency. Consortium in Alea attacked. Hugo Fournoir was kidnapped. Related. You may owe us some gold. Can you come to Alea? Do you think that's... I didn't want to say anything that was going to be...
Yeah.
Your father was so concerned about people having listened in, I didn't want to give any additional information.
It's perfect. It's exactly what he would have wanted. Although, not by the magical means.
We do what we can.
While this brief conversation is happening, you hear in your mind.
Oh, that was okay. Yeah.
Oh,
fine.
you haven't sent it yet. You're just sketching.
That was the rough sketch, but then I was
Got it. Okay, sorry.
Draft. This is the writer's draft.
Yeah.
That was the draft. That was the editable draft. But
Got
yes, continue.
No.
Yeah.
Took us a week to get here. Are we staying here until he arrives?
That's what we're testing. How long does it take him
Oh.
to get here?
Brian wasn't here. I said, as in character, I said, I wanted to test and see if there was magical means of transport between Ilmara and Alea and see if he had access to them.
So that is the plan.
The fast travel button, if you will.
Sorry.
How much
Glanced
money
over
does
it.
it cost to get here?
You have friends in high places?
Anyways.
Okay, so do you send it?
Yes,
Okay, and did you have it written down?
I do.
Actually, okay, can you say it again for me?
Emergency. Consortium and Alea attacked. Hugo Fournoir was kidnapped. Related. You may now owe us some gold. Can you come to Alea?
Okay. You wait a few moments. That was a lot and rather cryptic, but I'm going to assume by gold you mean the job. And if so, yes. Stay there for a day.
he said stay here for the next day at least.
So it's possible.
Certainly we could get there in a day.
I guess that gem made him a lot faster.
So, DM, do I
Yes.
know if, given what Olea is, if there is like a center with a teleportation circle to the capital for this kind
I
of
would
easy
say
transport?
that you specifically and Remy would both know that there are a few teleportation circles in Kathos, and that there is one in Ilmara and there is one in Olea,
Okay.
among other places.
So if
Where is it?
Oh, yeah. Where is it in the city?
Where is it in Olea?
Yeah.
It's in the
Right.
Academy.
Have you got a teleportation circle here? And how closely guarded is it?
Who was that question for?
It was for Remy.
Oh.
Okay.
We're at the academy, right?
Yes, you do know that there is one here in the Academy, and that it is very, very closely guarded, and that there is a toll to use it.
Oh,
Um,
you pay money? That's fine.
That's how it always works.
It's down the hall and down the stairs, then 3 doors to your left, and then take the hallway straight down, the second left on by the 3rd door. There's 3 checkpoints, and it's really heavily guarded.
Oh, TSA. Damn
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Thank
Canon.
fuck that exists. So,
But under the guise of an investigation, surely we could be granted access.
Maybe.
Well, perhaps not. No one would have snuck through if it's that closely
Well,
guarded.
we don't know. We'd have to check all sides, right? Perhaps there's an error or a mole within the guard.
I'm gonna have a lot of words if that's true.
I will also say, Remy, you would know that there is a Ivory Guard presence as part of protecting and maintaining the circle, but there are also arcanists from the Academy that are assigned to do so as well.
That is a problem. DM, I have another silly question. Do I know how far that circle is from where my dad was taken?
Well, based off of what Remy just described and what you know about the circle, it is within the Academy, which, within the Cloud Spire in particular, and distance-wise, it's a few hundred yards. Well, probably a couple thousand yards, but short.
So a significant distance.
In terms of like a quick walk, yes, and it's up in the Cloud Spire, so you'd have to fly or flying boots, winged boots your way down, as is commonly the case, or walk the very long stairwell.
When we identified the portal, at least some rough idea of it and where it was going to go.
Yes, it took you, from what Remy described, you had to be within an hour.
But you would have had to have physically placed the other half of the portal.
Correct.
To get there based on the way that stick works.
That is correct. What the entirety of the Cloud Spire and most of the city, even from what you had previously discussed, is within an hour's travel by relatively normal means of the Consortium. So,
How does that circle work, Remy? Is it just an indoor, or can you leave that way as well?
both.
It works both ways.
If you just stand on it, where would you get sent?
Well, you have to have a place in mind. It doesn't work automatically. You have to craft some arcane sigils, depending on where you need to go.
Would they be bold enough to take him, hide him somewhere, and then just walk through the portal chamber?
So I have a horrible thought. You know, that thing we did when we found out that terrible things had happened. If it takes a staff to do that, and if Cyrus was helping them,
Perhaps he jumped through first.
Correct. Or he knew how to leave it with people not able to see it. And then let them leave using it.
Locating Cyrus is a top priority at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could try to send a message to Cyrus.
No.
Is that red button number 2?
Yes.
Several.
At this
If
moment.
you do want to do that, he looks like this, and I'll cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
Do I recognize this person at all?
Roll a history check.
Okay, that's not so bad. Please.
You can't knock
Please.
this one over into my
Please.
hand.
It's really bad, Matt. Never mind. It's 5.
5. You do not, but it's not surprising that you do not, because you mostly worked and guarded the Consortium and didn't
Okay.
peruse the academy that often.
Okay.
But you all see the face of a kind of thin, more gaunt-cheeked, young human man, ginger, light blue eyes, freckled face, kind of an unkempt mop of curly red hair.
It's
And
Caleb.
the top
Don't
of
do
what
that
looks
him.
to
He's gonna
be
die.
a black robe, because
Oh,
this is
he's a
kind of
nice
like a
guy.
bust.
No,
He's dying.
he's probably on the highest of shit lists right now.
If he's alive.
It's a big if on that one.
Well, there's a chance they used him for what they needed, and then...
Well, if he didn't do it on purpose, that's unfortunate. If he outright did it, I'm angry they got to him first. Anyways.
We could bring him back and we could do it again. Brightwing can do that now.
That's not exactly.
I'm definitely
how it
not gonna
works.
ask her to do that, but I like the idea.
It's
Again, moving on.
stronger magic unless he in it.
Ah, well.
Again, that's unfortunate.
Hmm.
My incredible annoyance aside, no, we should not message him, because if he is in on it, they do not need to know that you are alive.
They never saw me.
That does not matter.
I agree. But there is some anonymity in that. I don't need to hide my face.
Yeah.
Call
Well,
that a blessing for what it is.
unfortunately, if we go looking for him, I'm going to be a problem.
Ew.
So,
I can do it.
The family resemblance is
Yeah.
notable.
Sounds like you need strangers from out of town.
Yep. So,
could-
chances
I
are
could
pretty low. What, Brightwing?
I could message him.
No.
Okay.
I think the point I'm trying to make is that they believe they got away with none of us knowing who did this.
Hmm.
That's very true.
So
Well,
we need to be incredibly careful about this.
Yes. I agree.
Do you mind if I message my people real fast?
You can do that. I don't mind.
I'll
Just-
message
No.
my. I'll message my father.
Okay. I thought for a second there you might be lying, but then I realized you were Brightwing.
No. No. If this was any other character, ooh, temptation. But no, that was Brightwing. Alright. Baba. Problems happening in the outside world. Is home alright?
That's it?
I want to say more, I just forget. I don't know how much I have left. Because he just has 10. Is it
You have used 10.
15?
You have 15
Okay.
left, yeah.
Okay. I'm alright.
Is alright one word?
I miss you. And my mare. See you soon. Is that it? Oh no, there's more.
Amazing. Also, I got.
And the
All 4 of them. Because that is exactly how Brightwing talks.
Yep.
fucking god, dude.
To be fair, this was probably in her native tongue, and therefore the words
That
may...
is true. That is also true. Few seconds go by. It is good to hear from you again, Brightwing. Everything here is all right. Your mother is well, though the nature of your messages leave her a bit concerned. I hope that you are staying safe. Wilds protect you.
I don't think I could tell him that we're gonna stay safe. Everything is alright back home.
I could check in with my Ivory God brother.
Not Ivory Guard.
What is he?
Kathian Navy.
Oh fuck, Navy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Your brother was a sailor?
Damn, that's crazy.
Nope, I lied. I lied. He's in the army.
And that's
Okay.
not
He's a
the
sergeant.
Ivory Guard?
He's a sergeant in the
No.
Kathian army.
Nah, he's in the Air Force. He has a skyship.
Aw, shit, guys. We could have. I mean, they had an airship. We wouldn't even know. They would have no
I didn't
idea.
know that the Ivory Guard was not the Kathian army. That's my fault.
No. It is a branch. It is like a government-run peacekeeping force.
That's not
But not a military branch, if that makes sense.
So like the Coast Guard.
The cops.
Yeah,
You
honestly,
forgot about
closer to the
Navy.
police.
That's great.
Of everything, they're closest to the police.
No.
If there was war, if there was war, the Ivory Guard would not be called to the front lines unless things got really dire. They would stay to guard cities.
God, that was funny.
But your brother's the military.
Yes, her brother's in the army.
Got it.
Well, maybe that's not helpful.
I
That's
mean,
a
it's
good
I don't
worth a
know.
try.
assumption. That could be.
I could-
Aedemon seems to be very focused on the fact of there being war on the horizon.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Oh yeah, that's a thing that's happening. Never mind.
Yeah, it's he can hopefully explain it better than I can, but it sounded like he was talking of mutiny.
Okay, we need. All right, I'm.
I don't understand.
I've been gone for a couple hours, and what the fuck? Okay, that's a lot.
He said that the biggest leader
Okay,
is
okay. I love that you want to fill me in. Just,
Maybe let him tell you.
I'm gonna need a minute.
I don't understand.
I
just
don't
hand
either,
you a
and
comic
those
book.
are words that I heard.
What'd you say?
I said I hand her a comic book.
On the cover it says midnight.
Remy, you wanted to try your machine out again. Maybe that would be a good
Yeah, let's try it.
distraction.
Did you not want to message your brother?
That guy can do that whenever. He's not as useful as I thought he was.
Wrecked.
It's not the same.
Not at the moment he's not.
Not time
Might need
sensitive.
him.
Yeah.
Might need him later. I will add a character. I'll be right back. So just.
Okay.
I was gonna wait for you to finish talking about all that political stuff. But if you want to test now, you can do it.
I don't know if we'll have a chance to get back up here with you, so it's worth a shot.
I'll climb up the ladder and I'll start up the machine.
Okay. Faye, what do you do?
I'll stand behind the X-ray machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I will attempt to cast a spell once it's running.
It is.
Yeah. And I will pick Brian, can you make an intelligence saving throw for me?
Oh, shit. Oh, my purr.
Oh, I missed the engine. God damn it.
That's a natural 1.
Oh,
my.
boy. Oh, my gosh. I know where this is going.
For 2.
What the hell did I just miss?
Okay. Faye?
So I release the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And flying around you suddenly are little apples with wings.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Like little nonsensical creatures, so like food, but with wings. And
It's an apple.
Oh, that's funny.
Are they peaceful?
Yeah.
Like just flitting about? Okay.
Yeah.
Remy, I didn't know you were into this kind of stuff.
Remy, you are very focused on your thing, but you glance briefly over and see Yasnif staring frantically at nothing.
Are you okay?
Somebody open a window, or can we get these out?
Faye, can he make another saving throw? How often can he make another saving throw?
That's not a nice way to talk about Digby.
Not a saving throw, if you recall. It is
Oh, yes. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So this begins to occur downstairs. Meanwhile, Remy, you see those once again mixed rose gold and black lines of Arca. Very visually musical in a similar way to other bardic magic you've seen, and very much reminiscent of what you saw from Faye before, forming these beautiful patterns and rules. Roll a perception check. Or an investigation check, I will say, actually.
I like
Your
that one
choice.
better.
Yeah.
Remy, I swear if they get near me, I'm going to take their wings off and leave them on your doorstep.
Investigation is
Mm-hmm.
19 plus 6 is 25.
Good heavens! 25.
Doing really well.
Okay. The rest of you are beginning to grow concerned for Yasnif, who seems very convinced that he's being surrounded by some sort of flying thing.
What?
Are you... Yes, there's nothing there.
They're like apple bats. I don't... they came in from nowhere. They're just there.
I see no apples and I see no bats.
Yasnif, roll an insight check.
Okay. This can't go wrong.
It's investigation.
I know.
Oh.
7.
Oh, but
You can't tell if Brightwing is pulling your leg or not. Not that she would understand what that means, although I think that's actually one that she learned.
I did.
Yes. You can't tell.
There's like this point where he just looks at Brightwing hollowly, like the eyes just kind of droop open like, okay, sure, this one right here, and like I'm gonna hold out just a hand, but I'm not gonna be able to touch it, obviously.
You do. You feel it.
Oh, I can fucking.
Yes. You feel an apple smack your hand. A winged apple.
Right. God, I love this spell. I'm gonna grab it. And just like look at. I'm just gonna hold like this right here.
You all see him holding nothing.
Here.
I don't see anything.
Just like bat a few other ones away, give it to Eclipse.
Does my hand go through it? Or
Yeah. Yes. I
When
mean, do you
drop
attempt?
it,
Are you
I attempt to
attempting
hold whatever he is holding.
So you
to
attempt
show
to
if I can
grip.
grab it. Correct.
Okay, your fingers go right through it.
And then once I let go, I'm just now I've got to catch it again. Ah, fuck.
But when he was looking at it,
Amazing.
did my hand go through it, or did I grab
Yes, your
it?
hand went through it. No, your hand went. His hand was like this. You reached out like this, and you just grabbed air, and he released as you did that.
I'm gonna cast detect magic because I'm like really concerned now that there's
Okay.
something in the room and I can't see it.
Okay,
It's not-
ritually or
No,
with a spell slot?
instant, with a spell
Okay.
slot.
Okay, you cast detect magic. Let me double check with detect magic. Unless you have it up, does it sense spell effects? I believe it does.
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. If you sense magic in this way, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visual creature or object in the area that bears magic. And you
It's not
learn
a
its
visual
school of
object.
magic. And if you learn its school, its school of magic, if any.
Okay, you sense that Yasnip. Let me just double check.
Solution.
Bears magic. Yeah. You see a very strong aura of illusionary magic around Yasnip.
I call to Faye. This is the expense part, yes.
Yes! Yes, it is!
Yes! Full circle! Amazing!
I also really appreciate the visual that Faye is just watching this happening from up above as Remy is fixated on whatever she's looking at,
Yep.
and Yasnip is just jumping around this fucking room trying to catch flying apples.
Okay. How long does it last?
A minute.
Faye? Okay. Okay. This is actually very interesting.
Did you see my...
I did.
Uh-huh.
Right after about a minute, Yasnip, one of these apples flies right in front of your face and cracks open. And you see inside this dark eye that is almost like shrouds of black that form this shape, and it appears in the middle of this eye, and then all of them vanish in an instant, blinking out of existence. Remy, at this exact same moment, with your 25 investigation check, you are inspecting the lines of Arca, and you see a few of them wind and form briefly the shape of a dark eye that holds for a second and then disintegrates. And as you watch over the course of 20, 30 seconds, you see this happen a couple more times. This is different from what you had seen previously. You did not notice these before, or they weren't there, you're not sure.
When you were dead, did you see something? Or did you see anything?
No, it was just dark. It was warm. I heard these guys talking to me. A few of them. But no.
You don't remember any eyes?
Oh, there have been eyes, but not in death.
Because your magic is different. It's the same color and the same musical nature, but sometimes there's eyes in the lines of Arca.
Ever since we fought that hag in the swamps, I've had dreams. The eyes, they've followed me. Depends. They show up in different places. I'll see them in the corner of my eye on a street sign or the back of someone's cloak. Last night, they were on my wings.
Oh, that's right, that did happen.
Well, that's really strange. Hags are typically associated with death of some kind, so it's not unusual that maybe that aura got stronger around you when you died.
Is it because we opened the jar?
Jar? We're gonna add that to the mutiny thing we'll talk about later. Never mind.
If you are cursed in this way, I might be able to do something. If it is that. I don't know if it would work.
Well, the frequency only increased since the hag, but this is not a first-time occurrence. This has been most of my life.
Oh.
Is it related to the thing you do?
It could be. I've not been able to turn over many leaves in regards to that, but they stopped for a while. Now they're back in full force. That's one of the reasons one of the things I was investigating when I first met Eowyn.
The eyes?
Yeah, or any connection to my biological parentage.
Right.
I don't know who they are, and what dark gifts they appear to have passed on to me, and if those were genetic or inherited via some kind of curse. There's many ways which my kind can come to be. Usually they're good, but mine is not.
Well, it is something I can prepare if you ever would like to see if it just does anything.
Yeah. I really want answers.
With the spell, do I still believe after it has passed?
I don't believe so. Faye, do you have it up?
Well, it says that the target rationalizes any outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
It says now.
While a target is affected, it treats it as if it was real. Rationalizes the illogical outcomes. Interesting. I think that it is so rare that this lasts until the end of the spell that it's not even noted here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, given the wording of while a target is affected by the spell, that you, after it fades, recognize that there was some sort of effect that you were under, not necessarily exactly what it was, or whether someone had like created apples that have now disappeared, or whether it was an illusion. But everything that happened during it felt very, very real.
And, Eclipse. If I don't particularly like to do it, I've never done it, but if we do find this Cyrus and he has been struck down, I could still talk to him.
Okay.
It's necromantic magic, and I don't particularly like to do it, but in this case I would. It helps to find your father.
I mean, I'm not all for, desecrating the dead. And like I said, if he didn't have anything to do with it initially and it wasn't, like, if it was against his will, I'd like to let him rest.
If he is alive, I could, convince him to talk. And if he doesn't feel like it, we may still be able to ascertain his true intentions. Thanks to Edwin's friend.
Yeah. I am really doing my best to give him the benefit of the doubt right now. It's really difficult to do.
Just pull out a coin that Ndani gave me.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of an old bag of tricks for me, but may give me access to something I used to have.
Well, for right now, if we're waiting for Rylos, we should probably go get Edwin. It's been a while, so... But we should go meet up with him and get caught up.
It's like afternoon by now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
3:46.
Let me see that. I'm gonna...
Ooh, good luck with that.
Do you attempt to grab it?
I'm gonna grab his hand.
Okay.
I look at it.
Yasnip, do you try to pull back?
yeah.
Okay. I will say roll contested dexterity check, straight dexterity.
This wouldn't count. Okay.
This is just pure speed of hand, not sleight of hand, but speed of hand.
The zoomies.
You want to say it at the same time?
20.
Okay.
Oh, I said okay. 22.
Wow. Okay,
I know.
Yasnip, very quick.
Just curious. I apologize. I should have phrased it as a request.
I will kind of look at her for a moment, flip the cover, and probably for the first time anyone would see, the backside of this implement is green. And it has a slight shimmer inside of it, kind of like the backside of a old-style golden pocket watch of sorts. And across the back is a small circle with a quadrant set up inside of it. So it's a cross inside of the circle. And going from around the circles in each of the quadrants, it's filled in with different colors, almost gemstone-like, but they don't seem to have any sort of cuts. It's just a multicolored facet. And it goes from grays, whites, and blues and light blues with the green edging. And when he opens it up, you can see a watch face, which has two hands that move slowly, intricately carved, almost appearing to have swirl-like effects on each of the hands.
It is a very beautiful piece.
and it says 346.
6, I think. Yep.
That's beautiful. Did you make this, or did this inspire your desire to make other things?
Neither.
Hmm.
And it's one thing to know what time it is, and I'll close it. And it's another to have good timing. And I think I need to work on the latter.
It was a gift?
Could say that.
Inside check?
Yeah, roll an insight check. Brian, roll a d20, and you can add persuasion or deception, whichever you choose. Don't tell me which, or don't tell anyone which.
Not great.
Some killer rolls, you guys. It's a nat 1 for 6.
Wow. Okay. That's a pretty significant gap, Yasnip. I will let you describe what she gets off of you.
I will openly say, because it's a nat 1 too, the stat that I did use was persuasion. So I'll clear that up right away. But you would see kind of the mention of it being a gift. His eyes flash a little bit left and right, almost as if he's trying to access memory. And he kind of like holds his breath for a moment. And it's almost like watching somebody do a quick calculation in their head, evaluating what had happened or thinking about different courses of actions. And just that quick, rapid contemplation of events or whatever it might be through memory. And there's a point where he just kind of slackens a bit and a sense of calm comes over him. And when he says, you could say that, he believes that it is a type of gift.
It's a very nice gift.
Hmm? Keep it close. Has memories.
This was a gift. She points to her staff. Is it similar like that?
Well, they're both gifts, right?
Well, yes, I suppose. I guess it just depends on who gave it to you.
This was
My
a
mentor.
gift. Yeah, I'm gonna hold up the loot.
Hmm.
My mentor gave me this.
And in a way, through these gifts, we've met each other.
And I have a gift for all of you. And I'll unclip Edgeworth from my belt. I don't really like all that fighting stuff that we did last night. But Edgeworth really enjoyed the adrenaline of combat. And I was talking to him, and he wants to go with you guys.
I'm so happy.
And I have Luna here to protect me, but you only have each other, and I thought you might use a little bit more help.
How big is Edgeworth?
Doesn't matter.
Fishbowl.
Doesn't matter.
We're with us.
Is it like a succulent?
Yeah, is it like a goldfish bowl, or is it smaller than that?
Like a goldfish bowl.
Okay. I imagine the
Like
transfer
mine's kinda-
ratio of how it looks to you to how it looks to like me is just
True.
like insane. Like, yeah, it's like
The shrub that you can see sticking up is probably like about the size of our heads, more or less.
okay, so it's not tiny. Okay.
No, it's not a little baby succulent.
Yeah. I mean,
You'll go on a mini adventure.
Does he enjoy the bowl he's in, or would he want to be in a different bowl that's a little bit safer for travel?
I think he likes this one. This one's safe enough for travel.
Are you sure?
A glass fish bowl. Oh boy!
I like to imagine it's in like one of those net things.
Mmm. Like that potted plants hang in?
Yes,
Yeah, it's like a fishbowl, but with like, the string or whatever.
Yeah,
And then that attaches to the belt.
This is just Leah asking, could he fit in the pocket knife?
It would be tight.
There's air in the pocket knife.
No space for
Also that. You tested it.
Did we test this?
Yes, you did.
What was the test results? I totally forget.
I will have to go back and double check since this is a potentially significant.
That was so long ago.
If I recall correctly, there was a very slight wilting to them after the amount of time you left it in there.
Okay,
but I will double check, or someone can double check.
Got it.
I think.
Or of course, Edgeworth could be like, like we could just break time itself and we put Edric in the pocket knife. So.
When you put an eldritch being inside an extra
dimension,
dimension,
I'm just saying,
what happens?
We don't freaking know.
Remy's giving it to us. I'm 100% willing to take it with us.
Yeah.
Something tells me that he'll be just fine in the casing that he has.
Yeah.
What does Edward's like to, like, is there any fertilizer that he likes, or
what's the food, what's the habit, we gotta get the whole rundown.
Is it spring water from a river, or is it a waterfall?
Water twice a day?
Water twice a day. I think he'd appreciate a variety of fertilizers, but I only have this book, and I'll pull out the Botany for Beginners.
Uh-huh.
Can I like glance through it and see how bad or right it is?
You two take it from Remy?
Yeah.
Okay. I will say you can certainly do that over time. Okay. How much you can learn from a few seconds is maybe not great, but I will just give you the answer now. It seems like it is simple, like low-level botany, but it is good, accurate information. This is Remy Bellwilder we're talking about. She doesn't have any nonsense in her library.
Okay, cool, sweet.
It is scientifically accurate.
I think I'll hold it and just.
I think Vanna could talk to plants.
Well, anyone can talk to
plants. You can talk to him too.
Well, we could understand him, and you understand him just fine, but Vanna could talk to him, and he would be able to talk back.
Why don't you try talking to it, Brightwing?
Well, hold on.
I'm going to look at Remy.
Actually, can I? This is such a dumb use of a feat. Can I use my channel divinity and charm Edgeworth with charm plants and animals?
Yes, you can certainly try. That's a save, right?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw. Okay. Fascinating.
So Matt, okay. I am just for the record, I am preparing to cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
To create what sounds like a voice to respond to your question.
No.
Okay. Brightwing, you cast or you use this, you channel this power, and you feel it connect and sense a plant that is not hostile to you.
Alright. I think this is the most connected I can get with the power that I wield. Hawati Edgeworth. I am Brightwing.
Yasnith?
Hawati, I am Edgeworth.
With my passive insight.
Where does the sound come from?
Yeah.
Does it come from the pot?
It comes inside the bowl. Yeah.
Okay.
Very confused.
Passive 19.
This is interesting. Hold on.
But would she go along with it?
Hold.
Sorry, Sean. We'll get
I will roll this if I need to, as well.
Okay. So here's the thing, Right Wing.
Uh-huh.
This is not something that you can ascertain or discern with wisdom-based skills.
Okay.
This is an investigation check to even tell the difference. However, it requires you actively making that investigation check.
Okay.
So I would ask you whether you are suspicious at all of this voice coming. Like if Brightwing comes into this believing that it can't talk, I would say you could make this check. But if she's like 50-50, maybe it can talk, I would think that you probably just believe it initially, at least.
I'm gonna say, yeah, she's gonna roll with it. She's surprised. You definitely like see her
Okay.
wide-eye that it worked.
You hear Edgeworth respond.
This is great. All right, okay. Well, let's introduce. If you're going to go on this adventure, this is Yasnim. This is Faye. This is Eclipse, and the big one. He's not here right now, but his name is Edwin. Do you like Edgeworth? Would you like to be called that? Would you be called anything else?
Doesn't respond this time.
Okay.
I'm gonna reach out and grab a little branch and just like up
Shake
and
his
down on
hand.
one of the little branches.
Amazing.
I think
I hope this isn't his
Edgeworth.
butt.
Or worse.
Either the connection is broken or I offended him and he's not talking anymore.
I'm not
Maybe it's
entirely sure that was Edgeworth
He's
talking.
also possibly just tired. It could happen as well.
Yeah, Remy, for what it's worth. Actually, roll a sleight of hand check, Yasnit, really quick.
I rolled investigation earlier, and it was I think not good.
What'd you roll, Brian?
25.
Okay. You, what did you roll on your
13.
investigation? Okay. What's your spell save DC, Brian?
13.
Okay, so you recognize that this is not Edgeworth, and besides that, you know Edgeworth's voice, and this is clearly not it. But additionally, you do not know that it came from Yasnit because his movements were very subtle. So you don't know what the heck is going on, except that it's something odd. And Brightwing, you don't know either.
Brightwing, can you do that detect magic that you do? I don't know if that was Edgeworth.
Well,
Are you implying that it's the wilds reaching out to her?
Oh, it wasn't Edgeworth.
that was the wilds. I've heard the wilds talk to me before, and they never sounded like that.
Well, you haven't done it since you've had that item. Didn't you get that today?
Facts!
We are not making the pod plant the wilds.
Yasnip, roll a deception check.
Hell yeah.
This is active deception that is being engaged in now.
I'm shambles right now.
Yep.
I cannot.
Hold on. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Okay, Brightwing, your passive insight's not enough. If you think you have reason to suspect Yasnip, you can roll an insight check. Otherwise, this maybe is the wilds, and it kind of makes sense.
Gosh. I don't freaking know.
Also, for the record, this is gaslighting. Do not do this.
Don't do this. Don't do this to people.
This is
not
the
okay.
yanking of chains.
I feel like it would say its name was the wilds, if not Edgeworth.
Wilds works in mysterious ways.
I mean, yes, it is true.
But the wilds normally talk to me in my dreams, like the one last night. So, I don't think that they would talk to me through plant.
Is Eclipse holding Edgeworth, by the way? Okay. Eclipse, roll a perception check.
No, dude, don't make me go over. It's just perception.
Yeah.
So 15.
15. You feel the slightest vibration from the bowl.
What?
Like something inside just barely shifted.
I cannot.
The wilds! This cannot be a traveler situation, Matt. I will not have my...
I want this to be the traveler. So
My god.
Alright. Okay. And does it seem like just it's vibrating? Is that what you said?
It was this tiny, like, almost like if you were holding an egg,
right?
Or a bowl that was like closely around an egg, and then a piece of it like cracked.
Okay.
Like that slight vibration, very instantaneous, and then it's gone.
Okay. It. I hate you so much, John. You bitch. It moved.
He does
I
that
do that
sometimes.
often, Remy.
Well, plants grow.
Okay, so that's
Like
normal.
all things do.
That's not like a perceptible thing, right?
Sometimes it is.
Okay. We'll take him with us. If anything, like I said, and like Brightwing said, Vana could probably talk to him too, and we'll just kind of go from there if we run into Vana. But that's, it is what it is right now. But yeah, we'll take him with us. We'll keep him safe. Hopefully.
I swear to God, if when I get commune and this plant starts talking to me, Matt, we're gonna have a discussion.
I think of it this way, Brightwing. Regardless of whether or not Edgeworth actually is a manifestation of the wilds, no matter where you are, you will always have some physical mark of the wilds with you.
That is true, but I thought that's what this was for.
I mean,
This is living.
I meant something alive. Providing we don't kill it.
Where's all the...
Well, either way, Remy, I promise we'll take very, very good care of Edgeworth.
Thank you.
Yep.
And he says thank you too.
He just talked?
Yeah.
I didn't hear
Perfect.
it. Ow!
Be careful, those are thorns.
Yes, don't press those.
That's gotta be it.
Okay, yes, I hear you.
Help me, please.
It's over.
Shit.
We're done.
Dude, we went from one night of just ugly crying to just losing our fucking minds. I can't. Okay, we'll take the plant with us. Are you still gonna help us out while we're here, or do we need to let you get back to whatever you were doing?
I have a lot of work to catch up on.
Okay.
I have about 2 days worth of grading that I missed
Okay.
while you were here, and I have another 2 weeks worth of grading from when you weren't here.
Okay. I'm sorry we took your time, and I very much appreciate your help. if we need you, I guess we'll let you know, okay?
I'll be here. And remember, my office hours are from 12:35 to 3:36.
Okay.
They
Perfect.
change every time. because the moon cycles. I just got it. Because the stars and everything move at night.
And you notice that she's not even confused. She just registers the office hours every single time she said them. She doesn't change.
Oh my lord.
Did Remy take the gold from Yasnip earlier? No?
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
Alright. Well, thank you, and we'll definitely keep you posted. Especially on Edgeworth's progress.
Please do. I'll give Eclipse a big hug.
And you give a big hug. Matt, mute.
Yes. You give what is a big hug for you and a very small hug for Eclipse.
Hug.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice to meet all your friends.
It was
Hopefully
nice
you can
meeting
meet
you,
the other
Remy.
two. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Maybe we
Thank
reach
you.
out sometime.
Of course.
She takes a feather. Yeah. This is how we say goodbye.
Oh, thank you. I don't have any feathers to give you.
Oh no, it's
I'll take like a. Oh wait, just a sec.
Like a chunk of...
I mean, technically, for some Koea, that's what you do.
Yeah, right. You're muted, Sean. You're
He
still
knows he's muted. He knows he's muted.
This has been an hour and a half of Sean raging at himself.
Raging? He's been ruining my day. It's like half hour. Fucking in shambles over here, you bitch. I hate you so much.
I take a strand of hair and I pass it over.
Pluck. Pink hair handed to you, right wing.
Malata, and she'll. Can I? Ooh. I'll figure out to do that.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
I guess we'll go find Adwin.
All right. You guys, with Edgeworth in tow
Yeah.
and leaving Remy behind, make your way out of the office, back down towards the cliff of the spire, and then down towards the city, where you will meet up with Adwin. And that is where we will leave this session.
Is that the last we're seeing of Remy? Is that why?
That is the last we will be seeing of Halia for the immediate future. Thank you.
Thank you, Halia.
Thank you.
Amazing.
It's a lot of fun.
Remy's been perfect,
Absolute
and I
blast.
couldn't pick a better person.
Nope. It was
literally
exquisite.
Incredible.
She was everything I hoped she would be.
Yeah.
Yep, same.
She's
Is.
so great.
She
Yeah.
is everything. And
Yeah. Yep. Favorite moments.
I am going to jump in right away, and I'm actually going to say mine's above table.
Hmm.
When you gave Halia the opportunity to come through all of these different paperworks, all I saw for the next 10 minutes is a pencil going like this.
Yeah.
That was the best thing that I saw all damn night.
Yep.
Because I knew every single one of those was going to be a fucking banger. Like, it was perfect.
That was amazing.
Absolutely loved it.
Also,
I've-
on that note, Halia, did you use that DM inspiration?
No,
Okay.
I didn't.
I'm going to keep that in mind for the future.
God.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Read too many academic papers recently to not have good ones.
Yep. Yep.
I liked fucking with Yasnip.
That was funny.
Mm.
That
Oh
was
my
That was very
god.
solid.
That was
It was a two-part because it was unveiling a new spell
Yep.
and also showing Brightwing an example of what we had discussed earlier.
Yes, that was amazing. Oh, so many connections and callbacks.
Never been more proud of a nat one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so mad.
The dice were good today. They were doing their job. Yeah.
It's good to fail sometimes. I like
Oh,
the
yeah.
thematic fails.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've been crying laughing for the past 30 minutes, so it's been hard
Yep.
to focus.
I think just Remy. Remy is my favorite. moment.
Remy just
Just
exists.
Just
right
Remy
now.
forever
Actually,
is
that is my favorite moment of Halia just burning all the other casters. in the
Oh
world.
yeah, yeah.
Remy
Oh, yeah.
is my favorite.
Oh,
moment.
that's it for
Like-
sure. Yeah.
And she meant nothing by
Dang it,
it.
your magic.
Oh,
You
no.
got it instead
Totally
of
innocent. Yep.
It's
That's
just
all
like,
she
Oh,
knows,
that-
man. That's all she
That
knows.
was pretty solid.
Yep, just Remy.
Uh,
I liked also the idea of like Fae Act 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Fucking
that was very good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That was.
I think that like that sets
Yep.
the tone. I've been thinking and looking for something, and it came to me like right in the moment,
Yeah.
and that was
Mhm.
like, no, it's not a do over.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was awesome.
I enjoyed also being a conduit for lore.
Mm.
Mhm.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, Lord.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I have like a 2/3 of a page.
Yeah.
Of just thanks to that investigate or that history check or whatever it was.
We had there was some baseline for Remy when Jess and I first talked, but then most of Remy came from Holly and I talking, and I did not foresee when we started that this much relevance between her and the lore and the stuff that you guys were looking into and the stuff that she was able to like bring to light, and that was pretty damn cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Guys, we were supposed to contact Rylus in this episode.
We did.
We did.
We did?
We
You did, but
I meant talk
but
to
he
him,
didn't
talk to
show
him, I
up.
meant talk to him.
He's here
Dude,
tomorrow.
there's no. We needed a day.
There's no conversation had.
Also,
yet.
I'm
No
gonna say it
long-term
again.
conversation.
We were ugly crying last week. We deserved today.
We
Honestly,
deserved to laugh.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite thing, which mine tend to be overarching, but you guys took a lot of the good moments already. But the transition between last episode through the beginning of this episode and then into the later half was all so seamless. And it's like, one of my things that I was kind of worried about is there is a lot of weight going on right now, but this is still a fun game and we all want to be goofballs. How is that dynamic gonna work out? And it was like so perfectly naturally done, and I think not having Remy would have made that a lot harder, so having her here for that was great.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt like there was some escape for both in and out of game for the party and the players that was able to be like naturally reached, that was amazing and seamless, and I feel like sets us up well.
And we did
So
it
that
I
was
think it's
really
in
cool.
the middle. This is just how we cope. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like any of the heaviness is gone. It's just
No.
we need to laugh.
No,
We
but
really
we still
did.
serious grown-up things,
Yeah.
but we also
Exactly.
laughed. Like, we did
Yeah.
both things.
And it was
So that
seamless.
feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
And now
really
we
cool.
have the wilds as a plant traveling with us.
With a delightful name,
What are you gonna
Sean's not
do?
gonna fucking stop bothering me about. Fuck you.
You have
All
no
right.
idea.
Hate it.
Amazing. Thank you, Halia. We will miss
Thank
you, and
Thank you.
very much expect and hope to see you at some point in 100 sessions or something. We'll see. But it was great to have you, and it was a amazingly played character. So thank you.
Had a lot of fun.
Yay!
And we will sign off for now, and see you all next time. Adios.